Hello and welcome to St. Scholastica's Shakespearean performance of King Lear. Before we begin the play, we would just ask a few things to keep in mind. Please, no flash photography. Please, no holding up cell phones. Please keep the aisle and the front of the stage completely clear, as we will be using that space for the play. Please rise for Queen Elizabeth's entrance. Please join us in praying a Hail Mary for a successful performance. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Saint Scholastica, pray for us. Saint Marguerite, pray for us. Immaculate Heart of Mary, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Gloucester and Kent, two noblemen, are discussing the fact that King Lear is about to divide his kingdom. Gloucester introduces his son Edmund, and he explains that Edmund has been raised away from home, but that he nevertheless loves his son dearly. Lear, the ruler of Britain, then enters and announces his plan to divide the kingdom among his three daughters. He intends to give up the responsibilities of government and spend his old age visiting his children. He commands his daughters to say which of them loves him the most, promising to give the greatest share to that daughter. Lear's scheming older daughters, Goneril and Regan, flatter their father by telling him in wildly overblown terms that they love him more than anything in the world. Yet Cordelia, Lear's youngest and favorite daughter, refuses to speak. When pressed, she says that she loves him as much as a daughter should love her father, and that her sisters would not have husbands if they loved their father as much as they say. In response, Lear flies into a rage, disowns Cordelia, and divides her share of the kingdom between her two sisters. Kent, who has served Lear faithfully for many years, disagrees with the king's actions and tells Lear that he is insane to reward the flattery of his older daughters and disown Cordelia, who loves him much more than her sisters do. Lear then turns to Kent and angrily banishes him from the kingdom. Next, the King of France and Duke of Burgundy arrive at Lear's court. They have both come in pursuit of Cordelia's hand in marriage. However, when Lear calls them in and tells them that Cordelia no longer has any title or land, Burgundy withdraws his offer of marriage. The King of France, however, is impressed by Cordelia's honesty and decides to make her his queen, and Lear sends her away without his blessing. In the meanwhile, Goneril and Regan recognize they now have complete power over the kingdom, and they plan to scheme against their father and reduce his remaining authority.
king had affected the Duke of Albany more than Cornwall.
It did always seem so to us, but now in the division of the kingdom, it appears not of which the dukes he values most.
Is this not your son, my lord?
His breeding, sir, hath been at my charge. I have so often blushed to acknowledge him, that now I am praised to him. And I have, sir, another son, some years older than this, of whom I hold no dearer in my account. Edmund, do you know this noble gentleman?
No, my lord.
My lord of Kent. Remember him hereafter as my honorable friend.
My services to your lordship. I must love you and look forward to getting to know you. Sir, I shall try to make myself deserving.
He has been out 9 years, and away he shall again. The king is coming.
Attend the lords of France and Burgundy, Gloucester.
I shall, my liege.
Meanwhile, we shall express our purpose. Give me the map. Know that we have divided in 3 our kingdom, and 'tis our intent to shake all cares and businesses from our age, conferring them on younger strengths, while we, unburdened, crawl towards death. Our son of Cornwall, and you, our no less loving son of Albany, will hear our daughter's several dowers, that future strife may be prevented now. The princes, France and Burgundy, great rivals in our youngest daughter's love, have made their amorous sojourn, and here are to be answered. Tell me, my daughters, which of you shall we say doth love us most, that I may extend our largest bounty? Goneril, our eldest born, speak first.
Sir, I love you more than words can wield the matter, dearer than eyesight, space, liberty, beyond what can be valued, rich or rare, no less than life, with grace, health, beauty, honor, as much as a child ever loved, or father found, a love that makes breath poor and speech unable. Beyond all manner of so much, I love you.
What shall Cordelia do? Love, and be silent.
Of all these boughs, even from this line to this, with shadowy forests and plenteous rivers and wide-skirted meads, we make thee, lady, to thine and Albany's issue. What says our second daughter, our dearest Regan, wife to Cornwall? Speak.
Sir, I am made of the same self-metal as my sister is, and prize me at her birth. In my true heart, I find she aims my very deeds of love, only she comes too short. To profess myself an enemy to all other joy, which in the same square of sense possesses, I find that I alone felicitate in your dear highness's love. And poor Cordelia, and yet not so, since I am sure my love's more richer than my tongue.
To thee and thine remain this ample third of our fair kingdom, no less in space, validity, and pleasure than that bestowed on Goneril. Now, our joy, although the last, not least, and who France and Burgundy court. What can you say to receive a larger part of my kingdom than your sisters? Speak.
Nothing, my lord.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing will come of nothing. Speak again.
Unhappy that I am, I cannot heave my heart into my mouth. I love your majesty according to my bond. No more, no less.
How, Cordelia? Mend your speech a little, lest it may mar your fortunes.
Good my lord, you have begot me, bred me, loved me. I return those duties back as are right fit. Obey you, love you, most honor you. Why have my sisters husbands when they say they love you all? Haply, when I shall wed, that lord whose hand must take my plate shall carry half my love with him, half my care and duty. Sure, I shall never marry like my sisters, to love my father all.
What goes thy heart with this?
Aye, good my lord.
So young and so untender?
So young, my lord, and true.
Let it be so. The truth, then, be thy dower. Here I disclaim all my paternal care, and as a stranger to my heart, hold thee, my ex-daughter.
Good my liege.
Peace, Kent, come not between the dragon and his wrath. I loved her most and thought to set the rest on her. Hence, and avoid my sight. Call France, call Burgundy, Cornwall and Albany, with my 2 daughters, take Cordelia's 3rd chair, and let pride, which she calls honesty, marry her. I do invest both of you jointly with my kingship. I will spend 1 month with one of you, and the next month with the other. And all I ask is that you provide me with 100 knights for my own entourage. I will only retain the name king. The rest, the authority and income, beloved sons, be yours, and this crown share betwixt you.
Royal Lear, whom I've ever honored as my king, loved as my father, as my master followed, I will speak unmannerly. When Lear is mad and power to flattery bows, what wilt thou do, old man? When majesty stoops to folly, reverse thy doom, and in thy best consideration take this hideous rashness. Thy youngest daughter does not love thee least.
Cant on thy life no more, out of my sight.
See better, Lear, and let me still remain the true blank of thine eye.
O vassal, miscreant, dear sir, forbear.
Do. Kill that physician who tries to save thee from thy foul disease. Revoke thy doom, or whilst I can still then clamor from thy throat, I'll tell thee thou dost evil.
Hear me, recreant. 5 days we do allot thee for provision to shield thee from diseases of the world, and on the 6th to turn thy back upon our kingdom. If on the 10th day following thy banished trunk be found in our dominions, the moment is thy death. Away, this shall not be revoked.
Fare thee well, King. Freedom of sense and banishment is here. May you be protected, that justly think and hast most rightly said. In your large speeches may your deeds prove love. Thus, Kent bids you all adieu. He'll shape his old course in a country new.
Here is France and Burgundy, my noble lord.
My lord of Burgundy, we first address towards you, who with this king hath rivaled for our daughter. What is the least you require a present dower with her, or cease your quest of love?
Most royal majesty, I crave no more than what your highnesses offer, nor will you tender less.
Right, noble Burgundy. When she was dear to us, we did hold her so. But now her price is falling. Sir, there she stands, with our displeasure pieced and nothing more. She is there, and she is yours.
I know no answer.
Will you take her or leave her?
Pardon me, royal sir. A lecher makes not up on such conditions.
Then leave her, sir, for by the power that made me, I tell you all. For you, great king, I would not from your love match you where I hate. Therefore I beseech you to avert your liking a more worthier way than on a wretch whom nature is ashamed of us to acknowledge hers.
This is most strange, that she was your best object, most best, most dearest, should in this trice of time commit such a thing so monstrous to dismantle so many folds of your favor. That monsters it, or your earlier affection was not true, but to believe such a bad thing about it would take a miracle. That can never plant in me.
I yet beseech your majesty that you make known it is no vicious blot, murder, or foulness, or dishonored step that hath deprived me of your grace and favor, but because I do not have a still soliciting eye, and such a tongue as I am glad I have not, and not to have it hath lost me in your liking.
Better thou hast not been born than to not have pleased me better.
It is but this, my lord of Burgundy. What say you to the lady? Love's not love when you is mingled with the regards that stand aloof from the entire point. Will you have her? She herself is a dowry.
Royal Lear, give but that dowry which yourself proposed, and here I take Cordelia by the hand, Duchess of Burgundy.
Nothing. I have sworn. I am firm.
I am sorry then, that you must so lost a father, that you must lose a husband as well.
Peace be with Burgundy. Since that respects of fortune are his love, I shall not be his wife.
Fairest Cordelia, thou art most rich, being poor, most choice, forsaken, and most loved, despised. Thee and thy virtues here I seize upon. Be it lawful, I take up what's cast away. 'Tis strange, from their coolness and neglect, my love should kindle to inflame respect. Thy dowerless daughter, king thrown to my chance, is queen of us, ours, in our fair France. Not all the dukes of water Burgundy can buy this unprized, precious maid of me. Bid them farewell, Cordelia, for thou losest here a better where to find.
Thou hast her, France. Let her be thine. For we have no such daughter, nor shall ever see that face of hers again. Therefore be gone, without our grace, our love, our blessing. Come, noble Burgundy.
Bid farewell to your sisters.
The jewels of our father. With washed eyes, Cordelia leaves you. I know what you are, and like a sister, am most loath to call your faults as they are named. He is well our father as you professed, but yet, alas, stood I within his grace, I would prefer him to a better place. So, farewell to you both.
Prescribe us not our duties.
Let your study be to content your Lord, who hath received you as an act of charity. You have been disobedient to your father, and well deserve to be left wanting.
Time shall unfold what plated cunning hides. Who cover faults, at last shame them to rise. Well, may you prosper.
Bid farewell to come my fair Cordelia.
Sister, it is not a little that I have to say, but most merely appertains to us both. I think our father will hence, tonight.
That's most certain with you. Next month with us.
You see how full of change his age is. The observation we have made of it hath not been little. He has always loved our sister most. Well, that poor judgment he hath cast her off appears too grossly.
'Tis the infirmity of his age. He hath ever but slenderly known himself.
The best and soundest of his prime was but rash. Now we must look to receive from his old age not only imperfections, but unruly waywardness that infirm and choleric years bring with them.
Such unconstant starts are we like to have from him, such as Kent's banishment.
There's further compliment of leave-taking between France and him. Pray you, let's hit together. If our father carries such dispositions as he normally bears, this last surrender of his will but offend us.
We shall further think on it.
We must do something, and quickly.
Edmund enters and reveals his resentment towards his half-brother Edgar, who stands to inherit their father's estate. He resolves to do away with Edgar, to seize Edgar's privileges. Edmund begins to discredit Edgar by forging a letter, in which Edgar appears to plot the death of their father Gloucester. Edmund pretends to hide this letter from his father, and so naturally, Gloucester demands to read it. Edmund answers his father with careful lies, so Gloucester ends up thinking that Edgar has been scheming to kill him in order to hasten his inheritance of Gloucester's wealth and lands. Later, when Edmund talks to Edgar, he tells Edgar that Gloucester is very angry with him, and that Edgar should avoid him as much as possible, and that he should carry a sword with him at all times. Thus, Edmund carefully arranges circumstances so that Gloucester will be certain Edgar is trying to murder him.
Wherefore should I permit one to deprive me? For that I am some 12 or 14 moonshines younger than my brother? My dimensions are as well compact, my mind is generous, and my shape is true. Well then, Edgar, I must have your land. Our father loves me as much as Edgar. Well then, my brother, if this letter speed and my invention thrive, Edmund shall top Edgar, and I shall prosper.
Kent banished thus, and France in choler parted. The king gone tonight, who abdicated his power, and is confined to only a title. All of this done so suddenly. How now, Edmund, what news?
So please your lordship, none. Why so earnestly seek you to put up that letter? I have no news, my lord. What paper were you reading? Nothing, my lord. The quality of nothing hath not such need to hide itself. Come, if it be nothing, I shall not need spectacles. I beseech your lordship, pardon me. It is a letter from my brother, that I have not all overread, and for so much as I have perused, I find it not fit for your overlooking.
Give me the letter, sir.
I shall offend either to give it or detain it. The contents, as in part as I understand them, are to blame.
Let's see.
I hope for my brother's justification that he wrote this to test my affection to your honor.
This policy and reverence of age makes the world bitter for us, the young, as it keeps our fortunes from us till our oldness cannot relish them. Come to me, that of this I may speak more. If our father would die, you should enjoy half his revenue forever in my undying love, Edgar. Conspiracy. If our father would die, you should enjoy half his revenue. My son Edgar? Had he a hand to write this? A heart? A brain to breathe it in? When came this to you? Who brought it?
It was not brought me, my lord. There's the cunning of it. It was tossed into the window of my room.
Know you the character to be your brother's?
If the matter were good, I dare swear it were his, but in respect of that, I would fain think it were not.
It is his.
It is his hand, my lord, but I hope his heart is not in the contents.
Has he ever heretofore sounded you in this business?
Never, my lord. But I have heard him oft maintain it befit, that the father should be as ward to the son, and the son manage his revenue.
Oh, villain! Villain! Abhorred villain! Unnatural, detested, brutish villain! Worse than brutish. Go, sir, I'll seek him. I'll apprehend him. Where is he?
I do not well know, my lord, if it shall please you to suspend your indignation against my brother, so you can derive from him his intent. I think he hath wrote this to attest my affection to your honor, and that any pretense of danger is false.
Think you so?
If your honor judge it me, I will place you where you shall hear us confer of this, and by an oracular assurance have your satisfaction that without any further delay than this very evening.
He cannot be such a monster.
Nor is not, sure.
To his father that so tenderly and entirely loves him. I pray you, Edmund, frame this business after your own wisdom. I would unstate myself of rank and fortune to be free of doubts.
I will seek him, sir.
These late eclipses in the sun and moon portend no good to us. The bond cracked twixt father and son. This villain of mine comes under the prediction. There is son against father. The king acts unnaturally. There is father against child. I pray you, Edmund, seek him out. Do it carefully. 'Tis strange.
This is the excellent foppery of the world, that when we are sick in fortune, often for spite of our own behaviors, we make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon, and the stars. Edgar, and Pat, he comes like the catastrophe of the old comedy. My cue is the villainous melancholy with the silent Tom O'Bedlam. All these eclipses do pretend these divisions. Bartholomew.
Oh, now, Brother Edmund, what serious contemplation are you in?
Come, when saw you my father last?
Why, the night gone by.
Spake you with him?
Aye, 2 hours together.
Found you no displeasure in him by word or countenance?
None at all.
Bethink yourself wherein you may have offended him, and at my entreaty forbear your presence.
Some villain hath done me wrong.
That's my fear. I pray you, till his rage goes slower, stay with me at my lodging. Pray ye go. There's my key. And if you do stir abroad, go armed.
Armed, brother?
Brother, I advise you to the best. Go armed. I have told you what I've seen and heard, but nothing like the actual horror of it. Pray you away.
Shall I hear from you anon?
I do serve you in this business. A gullible father, and a rather noble and innocent, whose nature is so far from doing harm that he suspects none. My practice is right easy. If not by birth, let me have lands by wit.
Lear is spending the first portion of his retirement at Goneril's castle. Goneril complains to Steward Oswald that Lear's nights are becoming riotous, and that Lear himself is an obnoxious guest. Seeking to provoke a confrontation, she orders her servants to behave rudely towards Lear and his attendants. Did my father hit my gentleman for the chiding of his fool?
Yes, madam.
By day and night, he wrongs me every hour. He flashes into one gross crime or other that sets us all at odds. I'll not endure it. His nights grow riotous, and himself upbraids us on every trifle. When he returns from hunting, I will not speak with him. Say I am sick. If you come slack in attending him, you shall do well. The fault of it, I'll take responsibility for.
He's coming, madam. I hear him.
Put on what weary negligence you please, you and your fellows. I'll have it come to question. If he dislike it, let him go to our sister, whose mind and mine I know in this are one, not to be overruled by an idle old man, who would still manage those authorities that he hath given away. Now, by my life, old fools are babes again, and must be disciplined when they are misguided. Remember what I tell you.
Well, madam.
And let his knights have colder looks among you. What grows of it, no matter. Advise your fellows so. I'll write straight to my sister, to tell her my very course. Prepare for dinner.
Disguised as a simple peasant, Ken appears in Goneril's castle, calling himself Cassius. After an exchange of words in which Caius emphasizes his honesty, Lear accepts him into service. Lear's servants and knights notice that Goneril's servants no longer obey their commands. When Lear asks Oswald where Goneril is, Oswald rudely leaves the room without replying. Oswald soon returns, but his disrespectful replies induce Lear to strike him. Ken steps in to aid, and Lear trips Oswald. Next, the fool arrives, and in a series of puns, tells Lear that he has made a great mistake in handing over his power to Goneril and Regan. After a long delay, Goneril finally arrives to speak with Lear. She tells him that his servants and knights have been so disorderly that he will have to send some of them away whether he likes it or not. Lear is shocked and feels betrayed by Goneril. Nonetheless, Goneril remains adamant in her demand that Lear will have to send half of his 100 knights away. An enraged Lear regrets handing over his power to Goneril. He declares that he will stay with Regan, whom he believes will be a true daughter and give him the respect that he deserves. After Lear leaves, Goneril argues with her husband, Albany, who is upset with the harsh way she treated Lear. But she says that she has written a letter to her sister Regan, who is likewise determined not to house Lear's 100 knights.
I, other accents borrowed, change my voice and appearance. Now banished Kent can serve his master, whom thou lovest.
Let me not wait a jot for dinner. Go, get it ready. How now, what art thou?
A man, sir,
What wouldst thou with us?
to serve him truly that would put me in trust, to love him that is honest, and to fight when I cannot choose.
What art thou?
A very honest-hearted fellow, and as poor as the king.
What wouldst thou?
Service.
Who wouldst thou serve?
You.
Dost thou know me, fellow?
No, sir, but you have that in your countenance which I would fain call master.
What's that?
Authority.
What services canst thou do?
I can keep honest counsel, ride, run, deliver a plain message bluntly. That which ordinary men are fit for, I am qualified in. And the best in me is diligence.
How old art thou?
I have years on my back 48.
Follow me. Thou shalt serve me. If I like thee no worse after dinner, I will not part from thee yet. Ho, dinner! Where's my fool, my knave? Go you and call my fool hither. You, sirrah, where's my daughter?
So please you.
What says the fellow there? Call him back. Where's my fool? Oh, I think the world's asleep. How now? Where's that mongrel, Oswald?
He says, my lord, your daughter is not well.
Why didn't he come back to me when I called to him?
Sir, he answered me in the roundest manner. He would not.
He would not?
My lord, I know not what the matter is, but to my judgment it seems that your highness is not being treated with the same ceremonious affection as you were before. There is a great abatement of kindness. This rudeness appears in the general dependence, as in the duke himself, also in your daughter.
Ha, sayest thou so?
I beseech you pardon me, my lord, if I be mistaken, for my duty cannot be silent when I think your highness wronged.
I, too, have perceived a faint neglect of late, which I have blamed as rather mine own jealous curiosity than purposeful unkindness. I will look into it. But where's my fool? I have not seen him this 2 days.
Since me and Lady Cordelia is going into France, sir, the world much pined away in sadness.
No more of that. I have noted it well. Go you and tell my daughter I would speak with her. Go you and call my fool hither. Oh, you, sir, you. Come you hither, sir. Who am I, sir?
My lady's father.
Thy lady's father, you knave?
I'm not letting your highness use your party.
You bandy looks with me, you rascal.
I'll not be struck, my lord. Tricked neither.
I thank thee, fellow. Now service me, and I'll love thee.
Come, sir, arise, away, I'll teach you.
Away!
Now, my friendly knave, I thank thee. Here's earnest for thy service.
Let me hire him too. Here's my coxcomb.
How now, my pretty knave? How dost thou?
Sirrah, you were best take my coxcomb.
Why, fool?
Why? For taking one side that's out of favor. There. Take my coxcomb. For this fellow has banished 2 1-stars into the third of us against his will. If thou follow him, thou must needs wear my coxcomb, for you are a fool. How now, nuncle? But I have 2 coxcombs and 2 daughters.
Why, my boy?
If I give them all my living, I keep my coxcombs myself. There's mine. Take another of thy daughters.
Take heed, sirrah, I can whip you.
For truth must be whipped, where lady may stand by the fire and utter false words.
Pestilent gall to me.
Sirrah, I'll teach thee speech.
Do.
Mark it, nuncle. Have more than thou showest. Speak less than thou knowest. Lend less than thou owest. Read more than thou goest. Don't believe everything you hear, and thou shalt have more.
It's nothing, fool.
Then 'tis like the breath of an unfeed lawyer. You gave me nothing for't. Can you make no use of nothing, nuncle?
Why, no, boy, nothing can be made out of nothing. A bitter fool.
Dost thou know the difference, my boy, between a bitter fool and a sweet fool?
Know that. Teach me.
That lord that counselled thee to give away thy land, come place him here by me. Do thou first stand in for him. The sweet and bitter fool will presently appear. The one in motley here, and the other found up there.
Dost thou call me a fool, boy?
Well, all thy other trials thou hast given away, that thou was born with.
This is not altogether foolishness, my lord.
Give me Ned, nuncle, and I'll give thee 2 crowns.
What 2 crowns shall they be?
Why, after I've cut the egg in the middle, and did the whites, there remains the golden crowns of the egg. When thou clovest thy crown in the middle, and gavest away both parts, thou had little wit in thy gold crown, when thou gavest thy golden one away. I speak like myself in this, then be whipped that first finds it so. Then your daughters for sudden joy to weep, and I for sorrow's son. But such a king should play bo peep, and go the fools among. Pray thee, nuncle, keep a schoolmaster that can teach thy fool to lie. I would fain learn to lie.
And you lie, sirrah. We'll have you whipped.
I marvel what kin thou and thy daughters are. They'll have me whipped for speaking true, or thou'lt have me whipped for lying, and sometimes I'm whipped for holding my peace. I'd rather be any kind of thing than a fool. And yet, I would not be thee, nuncle. Thou hast spread thy wit of both sides when you gave away your kingdom, left nothing in the middle. Here comes one of the parents.
How now, my daughter? What makes you frown? Methinks you frown too much of late.
Thou wast a pretty fellow when thou hadst no need to care she frowned. I am banned thou art now. I am a fool, thou art nothing. Yes, forsooth, I hold my tongue. So your face bids me, though you say nothing. Mamma, he that keeps no crust nor crumb shall want some back.
Not only, sir, this your fool, but others of your insolent entourage do hourly whine and quarrel, breaking forth in riots. Sir, I had thought by making this known unto you to have found safe redress, but now grow fearful by what you yourself too late have spoke and done. That you protect this course and approve of it, and although restraining your knights may damage your reputation, it is more important to control the situation than to worry about how you look.
For you, true uncle, head sparrow fed the cuckoo's song, had it had its head bit off by its young. So out went the candle, and we were left darkling.
Are you our daughter?
Come, sir, I would you would make use of that good wisdom, whereof I know you are fraught, and put away these dispositions that of late transform you from what you rightly are.
Doth any here know me? This is not Lear. Does Lear walk thus, speak thus? Where are his eyes? Either his notion weakens, his discernings are lethargied. Ha! Am I awake? 'Tis not so. Who is it that can tell me who I am?
Lear's shadow.
I have learned that, for by the mark of knowledge and reason, I should be false persuaded I had daughters.
Which thou like an obedient father.
Your name, fair gentlewoman?
I do beseech you, sir, to understand my purpose as a right. As you are old and reverend, you should be wise. Here do you keep 100 knights and squires, men so disordered, so bold, that this our court shows like a riot than a graced palace. The shame itself doth speak for instant remedy. Be then desired, you reduce your train.
Darkness and devils, saddle my horses. Call my train together. I will not trouble thee, yet have I left a daughter.
You strike my people, and your disordered knights make servants of their superiors.
You, sir, come. Albany, where is thou? Come you hither, sir? Speak, sir. Prepare my horses. Ingratitude, thou marble-hearted fiend, more hideous when thou showest thee in a child.
Pray, sir, be patient.
Thou liest. My train are men of choice and rarest parts, that all particulars of duty know. O Lear, 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 be at this gate that let thy folly in, and thy dear judgment out. Go, go, my people.
My lord, I am guiltless as I am ignorant of what hath moved you.
It may be so, my lord. Hear, nature, hear. If thou didst intend a babe to honor her, may the child torment her. Let her have a thankless child. Away, away.
Whereof comes this? Never afflict yourself to know the cause, but let his disposition have that scope, that old age gives it.
What? 50 of my followers dismissed within a fortnight?
What's the matter, sir?
I'll tell thee. I am ashamed that thou hast the power to shake me thus with these hot tears. Beweep this cause again, I'll pluck ye out. Yea, is it come to this? Let it be so. Yet have I left a daughter, who I am sure is kind and comfortable. When thou shalt hear this of thee, with her nails she'll flay thy visage. Thou shalt find I'll resume the powerful shape that thou dost think I have cast off forever. Thou shalt.
Do you mark that, my lord?
I cannot be so partial, Goneril, to the great love I bear you.
Pray you, content. What, Oswald, ho! You, sir, more knave than fool, after your master.
Nuncle Lear, tarry and take the fool with thee. A fox when one is caught her, and such a daughter, sure to the slaughter. The fool follows after.
This man hath had good counsel. 100 knights? It is not safe to let him keep 100 knights, that on each complaint, dislike, he may guard his dotage with their powers, and hold our lives in mercy. Oswald, I say!
Well, you may fear too much.
'Tis safer than to trust too far. I know his heart. What he hath uttered, I have writ to my sister. How now, Oswald? What? Have you writ that letter to my sister?
Yes, madam.
Take you some others, and await your horse. Inform her full of my particular fear, and thereto add such reasons of your own, as may compact it more. Get you gone, and hasten your return. No, my husband, this gentleness and course of yours, though I condemn not, reveal a great want of wisdom.
Well, time will tell.
Lear sends Kent to deliver a message to Gloucester. The fool taunts Lear further about his bad decisions and foresees that Regan will not treat Lear any better than Goneril did. Later, Lear calls upon heaven to keep him from going mad as Lear and his attendants leave for Regan's castle.
Go you before to Gloucester with these letters. Acquaint my daughter no further with anything that comes from her demands out of the letter. If your diligence be not speedy, I shall be there for you.
I will not sleep till I have delivered your letter.
Shalt see thy other daughter, Regan, will use thee kindly. Though she's like Goneril's, like crabs, like an apple, yet I can tell what I can tell.
Why? What canst thou tell, boy?
She will taste as like this, as a crab does to a crab. Thou canst tell why one's nose stands in the middle of one's face?
No.
Why? To keep one's eyes on either side of one's nose, though what a man cannot smell out, he may spy into.
I did her wrong.
Canst tell why an oyster makes a shell?
No.
Nor I neither. But I can tell why a snail has a house.
Why?
Why? To put his head in, not to give it away to his daughters and leave himself without shelter.
I wish I could forget my nature. So kind a father. Be my horses ready? Monster ingratitude, to take back my crown by force.
If thou art my full uncle, I'd have thee beaten for being old before thy time.
How's that?
Thou shouldst not have been old, till thou hadst been wise.
Oh, let me not be mad, not mad. Sweet heavens, keep me in temper. I would not be mad. How now? Are the horses ready?
Ready, my lord.
Come, boy.
In Gloucester's castle, Gloucester's servant, Curran, tells Edmund that he has informed Gloucester that the Duke of Cornwall and his wife Regan are coming to the castle that night. Curran also mentions rumors about trouble brewing between the Duke of Cornwall and the Duke of Albany. Edmund is delighted to hear about Cornwall's visit, realizing that he can get him to get rid of Edgar. Edmund calls Edgar out of his hiding place and tells him that Cornwall is angry with him for taking Albany's side in a disagreement. Edgar, of course, has no idea what Edmund is talking about. Meanwhile, Edmund also tells Edgar that Gloucester has discovered his hiding place and that he must flee immediately. When Edmund hears Gloucester coming, he draws his sword and pretends to fight with Edgar, while Edgar runs away. Edmund cuts his own arm with his sword and lies to Gloucester. He tells him that Edgar wanted him to join him and pursues Edgar. Next, Cornwall and Regan arrive at Gloucester's house. They too believe Edmund's lies about Edgar, and Regan asks if Edgar is one of the disorderly knights that attend Lear. Edmund replies that he is, and Regan speculates that these knights put Edgar up to the idea of killing Gloucester in order to acquire his wealth.
Save thee, Curran.
And you, sir, have been with your father Gloucester, and given him notice that the Duke of Cornwall and Regan his Duchess will be here with him this night.
How comes that?
Nay, I know not. You have heard the news abroad, the whispered rumors?
Not I. Pray, what are they?
Have you heard of no likely wars twixt the Dukes of Cornwall and Albany?
Not a word.
You may do that in time. Very well, sir.
The Duke be here tonight? The better. The best. This weaves itself perfectly into my plan. My father is ready to arrest my brother, and I have one thing which I must act. Brother, word to send! Brother, I say! My father watches us, sir. Run from this place. They know where you are hid. You have now the good advantage of the night. Have you spoken against the Duke of Cornwall? He's coming hither now, in the night, in the haste, and Regan with him. Have you nothing said upon his party against the Duke of Albany? Advise yourself.
I am sure on it, not a word.
I hear my father coming. Pardon me, in cunning I must draw my sword upon you. Draw, seem to defend yourself, and be convincing. Yield, come before my father. Light, ho, here. Fly, run, brother. Torches, torches. And so, farewell. Some blood drawn in me would make it look like I fought fiercely. Father, stop, no help.
Now, Edmund, where's the villain?
Here stood he in the dark, his sharp sword out.
But where is he?
Look, sir, I bleed.
Where is the villain, Edmund?
Fled this way, sir, when by no means he
Pursue him. Ho, go after him. By no means what?
Persuade me to the murder of your lordship. When seeing how loathly opposite I stood to his unnatural purposes, with its prepared sword lanced mine arm, but seeing how I was roused to fight and shouted at him, full suddenly he fled.
Let him fly far. Not in this land shall he remain uncaught, and if found, executed. My master, Duke of Cornwall, comes tonight. By his authority, I'll proclaim it, that the one who finds Edgar shall be rewarded for bringing the murderous coward to the stake. But he that conceals him, death.
When I dissuaded from him his intent, and found him determined to do it, I threatened to expose him, but he replied, Dost thou think anyone would believe you? If I should stand against thee, I should deny everything. I'd turn it all around to say it was thy suggestion, plot, and practice, and people would believe me.
Strong villain. Would he deny his letter? Hark, the Duke's trumpets. I know not why he comes. All ports I'll bar, the villain shall not escape. His picture I will send far and near, that all the kingdom will have a due note of him and of my land. Loyal and natural boy, I'll work the means to make thee my heir.
How now, my noble friend? Since I came, I've heard strange news.
If it all be true, all vengeance comes too short which can pursue the offender. How does my lord?
Oh, madam, my old heart is cracked. It's cracked!
What? Did my father's godson seek your life? He whom my father named? Your Edgar?
Oh, lady, shame would have it hid.
Was he not companion to the riotous knights? I know not.
Yes, madam, he was of that consort.
'Tis no marvel then he were ill affected. It is they who have put him up to the old man's death to have the expense and waste of his revenues. I had this present evening from my sister been informed them, and with such caution that if they come to sojourn at my house, I'll not be there.
Nor shall I be there, I assure thee, Regan. Edmund, I hear you've shown your loyalty to your father.
'Twas my duty, sir.
He did expose his practice, and received this hurt, you see, striving to apprehend him.
Is he pursued?
Aye, my good lord.
If he be taken, he shall never more be feared of doing harm. Make your own purpose. Use my authority as you please. For you, Edmund, whose virtue and obedience doth this instance so much commend itself, you shall be ours. Such deep trust we need to work for us.
I shall serve you, sir, truly.
I thank you, Grace.
You know not why we came to visit you.
Thus so unexpectedly and in the dark-eyed night, occasions, noble Gloucester, we must have use of your advice. My father he hath writ to ask my sister about an argument between them, which I least suffered to answer from our home, as the king may be on his way there. Messengers attend ready to dispatch our response to these matters. Lay comfort our good old friend and bestow your needful counsel, which craves the instant use.
I do serve you, madam. Both your graces are welcome.
Outside Gloucester's castle, Kent, who is still disguised as a peasant, meets Oswald, the chief steward of Goneril's household. Oswald does not recognize Kent from their previous scuffle. Kent insults Oswald. Next, Kent draws his sword and attacks Oswald. Oswald cries for help, and Cornwall, Regan, and Gloucester come to his aid. Cornwall gives orders to punish Kent by placing him in the stocks, but Gloucester objects to this punishment because he is afraid that it will upset Lear, since Kent is his messenger. However, Cornwall and Regan maintain that Kent deserves this punishment, and they put him in the stocks anyway. After everyone leaves, Kent reads a letter that he has received from Cordelia, who promises to find some way to help improve conditions in Britain.
Good dawning to thee, friend. Art of this house?
Aye.
Where may we set our horses?
In the mire.
Prithee, if thou lovest me, tell me.
I love thee not.
Well then, I care not for thee.
If I could get my hands on you, I would make thee care for me.
Why dost thou use me thus? I know thee not.
So I know thee.
What dost thou know me for?
A rascal, a base, proud, shallow beggar. One that art nothing but a knave and a coward, one who I will beat into a clamorous whining, if thou deniest the least syllable of thy addition.
Why, what a monstrous thou art thou, to rail one that has either known thee or knows thee.
Brazen art thou, to neither knowest me. Is that 2 days ago since I tripped up thy heels and beat thee before the king? Draw, you rogue!
Away, I have nothing to do with thee.
Draw, you rascal! You come with letters against the king and take the side of his vain daughter against the royalty of her father? Draw! Help! Oh! Murder! Strike! Stand, rogue! Strike! Help!
Oh no, what's the matter here? Weapons, arms, what's the matter here?
Keep peace upon your lives. He dies that strikes again. What is the matter?
These are the messengers from my sister and the king.
What is your difference? Speak!
I'm scarce in breath, my lord.
You cowardly rascal!
How grew your quarrel?
This ancient ruffian, sir, whose life I had spared to his old age.
My lord, if you'll give me leave, I will finish our fight. You think him like is my old age?
Peace, sirrah, you beastly knave. Know you no reverence?
Yes, sir, but anger hath the privilege.
Why art thou angry?
That such as this should wear a sword. Who wears no honesty and knowing not, simply follows his master blindly.
How fell you out? Say that.
No contraries hold more activity than I in such a knave.
Why dost thou call him a knave? What's his offense? What was the offense that you gave him?
I never gave him any. It pleased the king his master very late to strike at me, and then he tricked me, and put upon him such a deal of man that worthied him, got praises of the king, and he joined me now again.
Fetch forth the stocks. You stubborn ancient knave, you reverend braggart, we'll teach you.
Sir, call not your stocks from me. I serve the king, on whose employment I was sent to you. You show too bold a malice against the grace and person of my master by stalking his messenger.
Fetch forth the stocks. As I have life and honor, There he shall sit till noon.
Till noon? Till night, my lord, and all night too.
Why, madam, if I were your father's dog, you should not use me so.
Sir, being his knave, I will.
This is a fellow of the same type our sister speaks of. Come, bring away the stocks.
I do beseech your grace not to do so. His fault is much, and the good king his master. This purpose, low correction, is for common trespassers, not royal attendants. The king will be insulted to have his attendant thus restrained.
I'll take responsibility for that.
My sister may receive it much worse, for her gentleman was abused and assaulted by this man for following her affairs.
Put it in his legs.
Come, my good lord, away.
I am sorry for thee, friend. 'Tis the Duke's pleasure, whose disposition all the world knows will not be stopped. I'll entreat for thee.
No, do not. I've watched and traveled hard. Sometime I'll sleep and the rest I'll listen.
The Duke's to blame in this. The king will be angry with him.
You may now peruse this letter. I know 'tis from Cordelia, who hath most unfortunately informed of my obscure course, and shall find time from this enormous state, seeking to give losses their remedies. I'm all weary. My heavy eyes will not behold this shameful lodging.
As Kent sleeps in the stocks, Edgar enters. So far, he has escaped the manhunt for him, but he is afraid that he will be caught soon. He removes his fine clothing and covers himself with dirt, and turns himself into poor Tom. He states that he will pretend to be one of the beggars who, recently released from the insane asylum, wanders the countryside seeking food and shelter.
I heard myself proclaimed, and while hiding in the happy hollow of a tree, escaped the hunt. No port is free. No place is all await to capture me. As I may escape, I will take the basest and most poorest shape of a beggar. My face I'll grime with filth, blanket myself in rags, elf all my hair in knots, and outface the winds and persecutions of the sky. The country gives me proof and precedent of how I should act. For I have seen bedlam beggars who with the roaring voices strike out in bare arms, with pins, wooden pricks, and nails. They cry out with lunatic bands, sometimes with prayers, horrifying farmers and villagers to enforce their charity and give them alms. Poor, crazy Tom, they call themselves. Poor Tom. That's something. Whereas Edgar, I'm nothing, and
King Lear, accompanied by the fool and a knight, arrive at Gloucester's castle. Lear finds Kent in the stocks and is shocked that anyone would treat one of his servants so poorly. When Kent tells him that Regan and Cornwall put him in the stocks, Lear cannot believe it and demands to speak with them. However, Regan and Cornwall refuse to speak with Lear, excusing themselves on the ground that they are sick and tired from traveling. Lear insists that he speak to them, and Lear has difficulty controlling his emotions. When Regan and Cornwall eventually appear, Lear tells Regan how poorly Goneril treated him. Rather than sympathize with her father, Regan suggests that Goneril may have been justified in her actions. Rather than sympathize with her father, Regan suggests that he is growing old and unreasonable, and that he should return to Goneril and beg for her forgiveness. Lear asks Regan to shelter him, but she refuses, and to much of Lear's dismay, Goneril arrives at Gloucester's castle. Regan, who knew she was coming, takes her sister's side and her hand and allies herself with them. They both tell Lear that he is getting old and weak and that they must give up half of his men if he wants to stay with either of them. A confused Lear says that he and his 100 men will stay with Regan. Regan, however, responds that she will only allow him to keep 25 of his men. So Lear turns back to Goneril and says that he will keep only 50 of his men if he can stay with her. However, Goneril is no longer willing to allow him that many. In the end, both Goneril and Regan refuse to allow any servants. Outraged, Lear curses his daughters and heads outside, where a wild storm rages. Gloucester begs Goneril and Regan to bring Lear back inside, but the daughters prove unyielding and state that it is best to let him do as he wishes, and they order that the doors be locked, leaving their father outside in the threatening storm.
"'Tis strange that Regan and the Duke did so depart from home, and not send back my messenger."
As I learned the night before, they had no travel plans.
Hail to thee, noble master!
Ha! Makest thou this shame thy pastime?
No, my lord.
What's he that hath so much thy place mistook to set thee here?
It is both he and she, your son and daughter.
No,
Yes.
no, I say.
I say yea.
No, no, they would not.
Yes, they have.
They durst not do it. They could not, would not do it. 'Tis worse than murder to do such violent outrage against a king's messenger. Resolve me with all modest haste what you did that thou mightst deserve this usage.
My lord, when at their house I did commend your highness's letters to them. When came their Goneril's messenger delivering letters, which presently they read. Next they commanded me to follow them, and they gave me cold looks. When we got here, I ran into the other messenger, and being the same fellow that displayed such rudeness against your highness, and having more men would about me, drew my sword. He woke up the house with loud and coward cries, and your son and daughter found this trespass worth the shame and punishment which here I suffer.
Fathers that were rags do make their children blind, but fathers that were riches shall see their children kind. Thou shalt have as many dolours for thy daughters as thou canst tell in a year.
Oh, how this swells my heart. Where is this daughter?
With you, sir, here within.
Made you no more offense but what you speak of to deserve this punishment?
None. How chance a king comes with so small a train?
Hadst thou been set in the stocks for questions, thou hadst well deserved it.
Why, fool?
Let go thy hold when a great river runs down a hill, lest it break thy neck with falling it. A wise man gives thee better counsel, gives me mine again, that sir which serves and seeks only for gain, will run when it begins to rain, and leave thee in the storm. But I will tarry, the fool will stay.
Where learned you this, fool? Not in the stocks, fool.
Deny to speak with me? They are sick, they are weary, they have traveled all the night. Mere excuses, fetch me a better answer.
My lord, you know the fiery, stubborn qualities of the Duke. How fixed and unremoved he is in his own course.
Vengeance, plague, death, confusion. Fiery? What quality? Why, Gloucester, Gloucester, I'll speak with the Duke of Cornwall and his wife.
Well, my good lord, I have informed them thus.
Inform them? Dost thou understand me, man?
Aye, my good lord.
The king would speak with Cornwall. The dear father would with his daughter speaks, commands her service. Are they informed of this? Thy breath and blood? Fiery? The fiery Duke? Tell the hot Duke that. No, but not yet. Maybe he is not well. Infirmity doth still neglect all office, whereto our health is bound. We are not ourselves, when nature being oppressed commands the mind to suffer with the body. I'll forbear. Why should he sit here? This act convinces me that the Duke and Regan are avoiding me. Release my servant forth. Go and tell the Duke and his wife I'll speak with them now presently, or at their chamber door I'll beat a drum so they cannot sleep.
I would have all up betwixt you.
Oh me, my heart, my rising heart, but down. Good morrow to you both.
Hail to your grace.
I am glad to see your highness.
Regan, I think you are. I know the reason I have to think so, as any true daughter of mine would be. Oh, are you free? Some other time for that. Beloved Regan, thy sister's not. Oh, Regan, she hath tied sharp tooth on kindness, like a vulture. Here, upon my very heart, I can scarce speak to thee. Thou'lt not believe with how depraved a quality. Oh, Regan.
Take patience, sir. I have hope. You must know how to value her than that she is scant in her duties.
Say, how is that?
I cannot think my sister in the least fail her obligations if she restrained the rights of your followers. It is on such ground and to such wholesome end as clears her from all blame.
My curse is on her.
Sir, you are old. Nature in you stands on the very verge of her confines. You should be ruled and led by something greater than you yourself. Therefore, I pray you, make returns to my sister. Say you have wronged her.
Ask her forgiveness? Do you but mark how this becomes a royal house? Dear daughter, I confess that I am old. Age, it's unnecessary. On my knees I beg that you'll vouchsafe me raiment, bed, and food.
Good sir, no more. These are unsightly tricks. Return you to my sister.
Never, Regan. She hath abated me of half my train, glared upon me, struck me with her insults, most serpent-like upon my very heart. I hope all the stored vengeances of heaven fall on her, strike her young bones, make her ill and lame, to fall and blast her pride.
Fie, sir, fie.
Will you wish this upon me too when the rash mood is upon you?
No, Regan, thou shalt never have my curse. Thy tender nature shall not give thee over to harshness. Her eyes are fierce, but thine do not burn. 'Tis not in thee to cut off my train, to bandy hasty words, to scant my allowance, and, in conclusion, to bolt the door against my coming in. Thou better knowest the offices of nature, bond of childhood, effects of courtesy, dues of gratitude. Thy half of the kingdom hast thou not forgot, wherein I thee endowed.
Good sir, to the purpose.
Who put my man in the stocks?
What trumpet's that?
I know it. 'Tis my sister's. This confirms her letter that she would soon be here. Does your lady come?
That is the one. Out, varlet, from my sight!
What means your grace?
Who stopped my servant? Regan, I have good hope thou didst not know on it. Who comes here? Oh, heavens. Art not ashamed to look upon this beard? What, wilt thou take her by the hand?
Why not by the hand, sir? How have I offended? All's not offense, because senility and poor judgment finds it so.
Oh, will my heart yet hold? Who stopped my servant?
I set him there, sir, but his own disorders deserved much more.
You? Did you?
I pray you, sir, being so weak, if, to the expiration of your date, you will return into sojourn with my sister, dismissing half your train, come then to me, for I am now far from home, and I have provisions that are needful to care for you properly.
Return to her, and 50 men dismissed? No. Return with her? Why, I would rather to the hot-blooded France. That dowerless took our youngest born, and pension begged to keep base life afoot. Return with her? Never.
At your choice, sir.
I prithee, daughter, do not make me mad. I will not trouble thee, my child. Farewell. We'll no more meet, no more see one another. But yet, thou art my flesh, my blood, my daughter, or rather a disease that's in my flesh. Thou art a plague in my corrupted blood. But I'll not rebuke thee any more. Let shame come when it will. I do not wish for your punishment, or caution you to fear judgment. Mend when thou canst. Be better at thy leisure. I can be patient. I can stay with Regan, I and my 100 knights.
Not altogether so. I look not for you yet, nor am I provided for your fit welcome. Give ear, sir, to my sister, for you're trying to be reasonable, but you are so upset. We know you are old, but Goneril, she knows what she is doing.
Is this well spoken?
I dare vouch it, sir. What, 50 followers? Is it not well? Wouldn't he have you for more? Yea, when so many sit, that both charge and danger speak against so great a number. How are so many in one household under two commands to hold amity? It's hard, almost impossible.
Why might not you, my lord, receive attendance from those she calls servants, or from my servants?
Why not, my lord? If then they chance to slack you, we could control them. If you'll come to me, for now I spy danger, I entreat to bring but 5 and 20. To no more will I give either place or notice.
I gave you everything.
And in your good time, you gave it.
Made you my guardians, my rulers, but kept one reservation to be followed, my 100 knights. What? Must I come to you with 5 and 20, Regan?
Speak it again, my lord, no more with me.
Wicked creatures. I'll go with thee. Thy 50 yet doth double 5 and 20.
Hear me, my lord. Why need you 5 and 10, or 10, or 5, to follow in a house where twice so many have command to tend to you?
When need you even 1?
Oh, reason, not the need. But for true need, you heavens, give me that patience I need. You see me here, a poor old man, as full of grief as age, wretched in both. And let not women's weapons, water drops, stain my man's cheeks. No, you unnatural daughters, I will have such revenges on you both. I'll not weep, I have full cause of weeping. But this heart shall break into 100,000 flaws, or ere I'll weep. Oh, fool, I shall go mad.
Let us withdraw. 'Twill be a storm.
The house is little. The old man whose followers cannot be overstowed.
'Tis his own blame, hath put himself from rest, and must needs taste his folly.
For his particular I'll receive him gladly, but not 1 follower.
So I am purposed. Where's my lord of Gloucester?
Follow the old man forth. He is returned.
The king is in high rage.
Whither is he going?
I know not whither.
'Tis best to give him way. He leads himself.
My lord, entreat him by no means to stay.
Alack, the night grows on, the winds are strong and stormy.
Sir, to willful men, the injuries that they themselves procure, shut up your doors. He is attended with that desperate train, and what the maven sends me to do. Being apt to have his ear abused, wisdom bids me to fear.
Shut up your doors, my lord. 'Tis a wild night. My Regan counsels well. Come, out of the storm.
The storm rages on the heath as Kent searches for Lear in vain. Although he does not find Lear, he runs into one of Lear's knights and learns that Lear is in the area, accompanied by his fool. Kent tells the knight that he has heard about the unrest between Albany and Cornwall and that there are French spies in the English court. So he tells the knight to go to Dover to find friends who will help Lear's cause. He gives the knight a ring and orders him to give it to Cordelia, who will know who sent him once he sees the ring. Kent then leaves to continue his search for Lear.
Who's there besides foul weather?
One minded like the weather, most unquietly.
I know you. Where's the king?
Contending with a fretful element, bids the wind blow the earth into the sea, or swell the water above the earth. That things might change or cease, tears his white hair. He strives against the to and fro conflicting wind and rain, calling for an end to the world. This night, wherein even the lion and the belly-pinched wolf keep their fur dry, take cover and hide.
But who is with him?
None but the fool, who labors to jest, in order to soothe his heart-stricken enemies.
Sir, I do know you, and commend a dear thing to you. There's division twixt Albany and Cornwall, who have servants who are French spies. And from France there comes a power into the scattered kingdom, who already have secret feet in some of our best ports, and are at point to show their open banner and wage war. Now to you, make speed to Dover, and you'll find some there that will thank you for making just report of how unnatural and mad with sorrow the king hath become. I am a gentleman of blood and breeding, and from some knowledge and assurance offer you this office.
I will talk further with you.
No, do not. For confirmation that I am a nobleman in disguise, open this purse and take what it contains. If you see Cordelia, as I know you shall, give her this ring and she will tell you who I am. Fie on this storm. We'll go and seek the king.
Give me your hand. Have you no more to say?
No, this is most important now. When we have found the king, would you go this way and all that way? He that first sees in the hall the other.
Meanwhile, Lear wanders around in the storm and shouts at the weather to do its worst against him. He seems slightly irrational as his thoughts wander from one idea to the next, but his thoughts always return to his two cruel daughters. The fool urges Lear to humble himself before his daughters and seek shelter, but Lear does not listen. Kent eventually finds them and urges them to take shelter in a nearby hovel. Lear finally agrees and follows Kent toward the hovel while the fool makes a strange and confusing prophecy.
Blow, winds, and crack your cheeks. Rage, blow. You hurricanes, spout till you have drenched our steeples. You sulphurous and thought-executing thunderbolts, singe my white head. Yeah, now all shaking thunder smite flat the thick rotundity of the world.
Oh, Uncle, a dry house is better than this rainwater out of door. Good Uncle in, and ask thy daughter's blessing and forgiveness. This storm pities neither wise man nor fool.
Thunder, rumble, lightning spit fire, spout rain. Rain, wind, thunder, fire are not my daughters. I tax not you for being unkind, for I never gave you a kingdom, called you children. You owe me no subscription. Then let fall your horrible pleasure. Here I stand, your prisoner, a poor, infirm, weary, and despised old man. But yet, I see you servile ministers have with two pernicious daughters joined your high-engendered battles against a head as old and white as this. Oh, 'tis foul.
He that has a house to put his head in has a good headpiece.
No, I will be the pattern of all patience. I will do nothing.
Who's there?
Mary, a wise man and a fool.
Alas, sir, are you here? Even creatures that love the night live not nights such as these. The wrathful skies terrify the very wanderers of the dark and make them hide in their caves. Since I was a man, such sheets of fire, such bursts of horrid thunder, such groans of rain I can never remember to have heard. Its nature cannot carry the affliction nor the fear.
Let the great gods that keep this dreadful pother over our heads find out their enemies now. For I am a man more sinned against than sinning.
Black, bareheaded, and not even a hat? Gracious my lord, by here is a hut. Some friendship will lend you to the tempest. Repose you there while I to your daughter's house. They are harder than stones. For even now, when I went demanding after you, denied me access to come in. But I will return and force their scanty courtesy.
My wits begin to turn. Come on, my boy. How dost, my boy? Art cold? I am cold myself. Come, my fellow. Bring us to this hut. The art of our necessities is strange. I can make such vile things like this hut precious.
He that has a little tiny wit, with hay, hoe, the wind, and the rain, must make content with his fortune's fit. The rain, it raineth every day.
True, my good boy. Come, bring us to this hut.
Inside his castle, Gloucester speaks with Edmund. He tells Edmund that Regan, Goneril, and Cornwall locked Lear out in the storm, and that although he urged them to give him permission to go out and help Lear, they became angry, took possession of his castle, and ordered him never to speak to Lear or plead on his behalf again. Gloucester also tells Edmund that he has received news of a conflict between Albany and Cornwall. He informs him that a French army is invading, and that part of it has already landed in England. Gloucester feels that he must take Lear's side and plans to seek him out in the storm. He tells Edmund that there is a letter in his room, which details the news of the French army, and he asks his son to distract Cornwall while searches for Lear. He adds that it is imperative that Cornwall does not know that he has since left, that he may be killed for treachery. When Gloucester leaves, Edmund privately rejoices at the opportunity that has just presented itself. He instantly betrays his father. He rushes to Cornwall to tell him about Gloucester's plans to help Lear, and he also divulges the location of the traitor's letter from the French. Edmund excitedly anticipates that he will soon inherit his father's land, title, and fortune as soon as Gloucester is put to death.
Alack, Edmund, I like not this unnatural dealing. When I did desire Regan and Goneril's leave, that I might have mercy on the king and shelter him, they took from me the use of mine own house, and charged me on pain of their perpetual displeasure, neither to speak of him, entreat for him, or in any way sustain him.
Most savage and unnatural.
Go to, Edmund, say nothing. There's a division betwixt the dukes, and a worse matter than that. I have received a letter this night. 'Tis dangerous even to be spoken about, so I have locked this letter in my closet. These injuries the king now bears must be revenged, for there's part of her power already landed here. We must side with Lear. I will seek him and privately help him. You must maintain talk with the duke, so that my charity be not of him perceived. If he asks for me, I am ill and gone to bed. Though I may die of it, the king my old master must be helped. There's something strange coming, Edmund. I pray you be careful.
This courtesy you are about to show the king shall the duke instantly know. And of that letter, too. That which my father loses, his land, title, and fortune, will be mine. The younger rises when the old doth fall.
Kent leads King Lear through the storm to the hovel. He tries to get him to go inside, but Lear resists, saying that his mental anguish does not really allow him to feel the storm. He sends his fool inside to take shelter while he kneels and prays. He reflects that, as king, he took too little care of the wretched and homeless, who have little protection from storms. The fool runs out of the hovel, claiming that there is a spirit inside. The spirit turns out to be Edgar in disguise as Tom O'Bedlam. Edgar plays the part of a madman by complaining that he is being chased by a devil. He adds that fiends possess his body. Lear, whose grip on reality is losing, does not find anything strange with these statements. Rather, he asks the disguised Edgar what he used to be before he went mad and became a beggar. Edgar realizes that he was once a wealthy courtier. Gloucester, carrying a torch, comes looking for the king. He is unimpressed by Lear's companions and tries to bring Lear back to the castle, even though it will incite Regan and Goneril's anger. Kent and Gloucester finally convince Lear to go with Gloucester, but Lear insists on bringing the disguised Edgar with him.
Here is the place, my lord. Good my lord, enter. The tyranny of the open night is too rough for nature to endure.
Let me alone.
Good my lord, enter here.
Not break my heart.
I had rather break mine own. Good my lord, enter.
Thou thinkest 'tis much that this storm soaks and invades us to the skin. This tempest in my mind takes all feeling elsewhere. I will punish. I will weep no more. In such a night to shut me out? Torah, I will endure in such a night as this. Oh, Regan, Goneril, your poor, kind father, whose heart gave all. Oh, that way madness lies. Let me not think on it. No more of that.
Good my lord, enter here.
Prithee away, go in thyself. Seek thine own ease. This tempest prevents me from pondering on things would hurt me more. But I'll go in. In, boy, go first. You homeless poverty. Nay, get thee in. I'll pray, and then I'll sleep. Poor homeless people, wheresoever you are, that bides the pelting of this pitiless storm. How shall your houseless heads and unfed sighs defend you from seasons such as these? Oh, when I was king, I took too little care of this.
Fathom in half! Fathom in half!
thy cold bed and warm thee.
Hast thou given all to thy 2 daughters, and art thou come to this?
Gives anything. On the foul field have led through fire and through flame. Bless thy 5 winds. Tones are cold. Doty. Bless thee from world and star blasting. Do part ops in charity. On the foul fiend vexes. And there I might catch him. And there again. And there. And there.
What? Have his daughters brought him to this path? Didst thou give them all?
I have no daughters, sir.
Nothing could have subdued nature to such a lowness than unkind daughters. Is it the fashion that discarded fathers should have little mercy on their flesh? 'Twas my flesh begot those pelican daughters.
Hello.
This comet will turn us all to fools and madmen.
The foul fiend. Obey thy parents. Swear not. Keep thy word justly. And set not thy sweet heart on proud brain. Sounds cold.
What hast thou been?
A serving man. Proud heart, mind. Had curled his hair, wore gloves in his cap. I loved I deeply. Dice. False of heart, light of ear, bloody of hand. Hog in sloth, fox in stealth, wolf in greediest dog, in madness lion, in prey. Defy the foul fiend, the cold wind, the hot wind blows his swoon. No. Dolphin, my boy Sissa, let him trot by.
Why, thou wert better in thy grave than to answer. Is man no more than this? Consider him well. Thou owest the worm no silk, the beast no hide, the sheep no wool, the cat no perfume. Thou art the thing itself. An accommodated man is but a poor end. Off, you lendings!
Pray thee, Uncle, be contented. Look, here comes a walking fire.
This is the foul fiend, Flibberty Gibbet. He begins at curfew and walks until dawn. He squints the eye, mildews the white weed and hurts. Poor creature of earth. Saint Withhold met the nightmare and her ninefold. In her stop, her drop life. Go away, witch! Go away!
Where's your grace?
What's he?
Who's there? What is it you seek?
What are you there? Your names?
Poor dog that eats the sweet frog, the toad, the tadpole, the walnut, and the water. In the fury of his heart, the foul fiend rages. Is whipped, stuck, punished, and imprisoned. I, who once had 6 shirts to his back, 3 suits to his body, horse to belong here. Beware my following! Peace, Smokin! Peace, thou fiend!
What, hath your grace no better company?
The Prince of Darkness is a gentleman. Modo he's called, and Mahu!
Our children are grown so vile that they doth hate us.
Our tops are cold!
My lord, go on with me. My duty cannot suffer. To obey your daughter's hard commands, to bar the doors and let this tyrannous night take hold of you. But I venture to seek you out, and to bring you where both food and fire is ready.
First, I'll talk with this philosopher. What is the cause of thunder?
Could my lord take his offer, go into the height?
I'll speak a word with this same learned Theban. What is your study?
How to prevent the fiend, and to kill vermin.
Let me ask you one word in private.
Importune once more to go, my lord. His wits begin to unsettle.
Canst thou blame him? His daughter seeketh death. Ah, that good Kent. He said it would be thus. Poor banished man. Thou sayest the king grows mad? I do tell thee, friend, I do grow mad myself. I had a son once, now outlawed, for he sought my life. But I did love him. No father loved a son dearer. I'm afraid to praise my wits. I do beseech your grace.
Oh, cry your mercy, sir. Noble philosopher, your company.
His arms are cold!
In, fellow, there, into the hovel, keep thee warm.
Come, let's and all. I will keep still with my philosopher.
Good my lord, soothe him. Let him take the fellow.
Take him you on.
Sirrah, come on. Go along with us.
Come, good Athenian.
No words, no words, hush.
Till night roamed to the dark tower king. The word is still. Fine, foe to foe. I smell the blood of a British man. Inside Gloucester's castle, Cornwall vowed to venture against Gloucester, because Edmund had shown Cornwall a letter that proved Gloucester secretly supports the French invasion. Edmund pretends to be horrified at this discovery of his father's treason, when in reality he is delighted, since Cornwall, who is now his ally, confers the tale of Earl of Gloucester upon him. Cornwall sends Edmund to find Gloucester, and Edmund realizes that if he can catch his father in the act of helping Lear, Cornwall's suspicions will be confirmed.
I will have my revenge ere I depart his house. I now perceive it was not altogether your brother's evil disposition that made him seek his father Gloucester's death, but a provoking merit due to his wickedness.
How malicious is my fortune that I must repent to do what is just. This is the letter that he spoke of, which proves him an intelligent party to the advantages of France. Oh heavens, that this treason were not I the detector.
Go with me to the Duchess.
If the matter of this paper be certain, we have mighty business in him.
True or false, it hath made thee the Earl of Gloucester. Seek out where thy father is, and let him know that he will be arrested.
If I find him comforting the king, it will stuff his suspicions more fully, and make my father seem even more guilty. I will persevere in my loyalty to you, though the blood be sore between that and my blood.
I will lay trust upon thee, and thou shalt find me to be a dearer and better father to you.
Gloucester, Kent, Lear, and the Fool take shelter in a small building similar to a shutter farmhouse on Gloucester's property. Gloucester leaves to find provisions for Lear. Lear, whose madness is progressing, holds a mock trial of his wicked daughters with Edgar, Kent, and the Fool. Gloucester rushes back to tell Kent that he has overheard a plot to kill Lear, and he begs Kent to transport Lear to Dover, where allies will be waiting for him. Gloucester, Kent, and the Fool leave together, but Edgar remains behind. He speaks in his own undisguised voice about how insignificant his own suffering is in comparison to Lear's.
Here is better than the open air. Take it thankfully. I will find provisions that will make you more comfortable. I will not be long from you.
All the power of his wits have given way to his impatience. May you be rewarded for your kindness.
The devil Fraterretto tells me Nero is an angler in the lake of darkness. Pray, innocent, and beware the foul fiend!
Pray thee, uncle, tell me whether a madman be a gentleman or a yeoman.
A king, a king! To have 1,000 devils hissing in on Regan and Gotham.
The foul fiend bites me!
I will arraign them straight and put on the trial now. Come, stand thou here, most learned justicer. Thou, sapient sir, here.
Look, where he stands and glares. What didst thou ask at trial? The foul fiend haunts poor Tom in the voice of a nightingale. The demon hop dance cries in Tom's belly for 2 white herring. Croak not, black angel, I have no food for thee.
How do you, sir? Stand not you so amazed. Will you lie down and rest?
I will see the trial first. Bring in the evidence. Thy robed man of justice, take thy place. And thou, his fellow justicer, bench by his side. You can also be a judge. Stand you too.
Let us deal justly and give a fair verdict. Sleepest or wakest thou, O jolly shepherd, thy sheep be in the corn, and with one blast of thy minikin, thy sheep will take no harm.
Array Goneril first. I here take my oath upon this honorable assembly. She hath kicked the poor king her father when he was down.
Come hither, mistress. Is your name Goneril?
She cannot deny it.
Cry mercy. I took you for a good person.
And here's Regan, another, whose work looks proclaim what store her heart is made of. Stop her there. Arms, arms, sword, fire, chaos in the courtroom! False, corrupt judge, why hast thou let them escape?
Bless thy heart, O pity.
Sir, where is all the patience and self-control now that thou so oft have boasted to retain?
My tears begin to take his part so much. Now mine my counterfeiting disguise.
The little dogs and all, you see, they bark at me.
Tom will throw his head at them and chase them away. Go away, mastiff, greyhound, hound, or spaniel. Tom will make them weep and wail. For in throwing thus my head, dogs are fled. Sessa, run up. Oh, Dodie. D. Poor Tom, thy heart is dry.
Then let them dissect Regan. See what bounds about her heart. Is there any cause in nature that can make this heart hard? You, sir, I entertain as one of my 100 knights, but I do not like the fashion of your garments. Let them be changed.
Now, good my lord, lie here and rest a while.
Make no noise, make no noise. Draw the curtains. So. We'll go to supper in the morning. So.
Come hither, fellow. Where is the king, my lord master? Here, sir, but trouble him not. His wits are gone.
I pray you take him in your arms. I have overheard a plot of death against him. There is a carriage ready. Lay him in it and drive towards Dover. There you shall meet protection. If thou shouldst dally half an hour,
His life with thine and all thou hast to offer stand in assured loss. Take up, and follow me.
This rest might have yet bound thy broken senses. It will be hard for you to get better without rest, yet convenience will not allow you this cure. Come, help to bear thy master. Thou must not stay behind.
Come, away.
You see that our betters bear our woes. We scarcely think of our own miseries or foes. One who suffers alone suffers most in the mind. When grief hath fellowships or mates, it is easier to bear.
How light and portable my pain seems now that I see.
That which makes me bend makes the king bow. For his children did to him what my father did to me. Tom, away, and thyself bewray. I will watch the political situation and reveal my true identity when proven innocent. What else may hap more tonight? I pray the safe escape of the king.
Back in Gloucester's castle, Cornwall gives Goneril the treasonous letter concerning the French army at Dover, and he tells her to show it to her husband, Albany. He then sends his servants to apprehend Gloucester. He also orders Edmund to go with Goneril to Albany's palace so that Edmund will not have to witness the violent punishment his father will endure. Oswald announces that Gloucester has helped Lear escape to Dover. When Gloucester is found, he is brought before Regan and Cornwall. They treat him cruelly. They tie him up, insult him, and pull his white beard. Cornwall remarks that although he cannot put Gloucester to death without a formal trial, he can brutally punish him. Admitting he helped Lear escape, Gloucester swears that he will see Lear's wrongs avenged. Cornwall replies that he shall never see again and brutally attacks Gloucester's eye. Regan demands that Cornwall continue to torture him and injure his other eye. One of Gloucester's servants suddenly steps in and states that he cannot allow this outrage to continue. In anger, Cornwall draws his sword and both men fight. The servant wounds Cornwall, so Regan grabs his sword and kills the servant before he can injure Cornwall any further. Irate and wounded, Cornwall continues to torture Gloucester. Gloucester calls out for his son Edmund to help him, but Regan tells him it was Edmund who betrayed him in the first place. Gloucester then realizes that he has been deceived and that Edgar is the only son who really loved him. Gloucester laments his folly and prays for Edgar. Regan and Cornwall order Gloucester out of the house, and Cornwall, realizing that his wound is bleeding heavily, exits with Regan's aid. Left alone with Gloucester, Cornwall and Regan's servants express their horror at what has just transpired.
Post speedily to my lord your husband. Show him this letter. The army of France is landed. Seek out the villain Gloucester.
Hang him instantly.
Pluck out his eyes.
Leave him to my displeasure. Edmund, keep my sister-in-law company. The revenges we are bound to take are not fit for your eyes to behold. Advise the Duke of Albany to prepare for war. We are bound to the light. Farewell, dear sister. Farewell, my lord of Gloucester. How now? Where's the king?
My lord of Gloucester hath helped him leave, with some 5 or 6 and 30 of his knights, who met him at gate, and with some other lords who were gone with him towards Dover, where they boast to have well-armed friends.
Get horses for your mistress.
Farewell, sweet lord and sister.
Edmund, farewell. Seek out the traitor Gloucester. Bring him before us. Though well we may not pass upon his life without the form of a just trial, our power shall allow me to do a wrathful deed that men may blame, but not be able to do anything about. Who's there? The traitor?
Ingrateful fox, 'tis he.
Bind fast his arms.
What means your grace? Good my friends, consider you are my guests. Do we no foul play, friends?
Bind him, I say.
Hard, hard. Tie him up harder, oh filthy traitor! Unmerciful lady as you are, I am not a traitor.
To this chair bind him. Villain, thou shalt find.
'Tis most ungrateful to slap me thus. So old, and such a traitor. Wicked lady, you should not ruffle one who has welcomed you into his own home. What should you do?
Come, sir, what letters have you late from France?
Be simple, answer, for we know the truth.
And what connection have you with the traitors who have landed in the kingdom?
To whose hands have you sent the lunatic king? Speak! I have a letter which speculates, but offers no proof of the situation, and it came from one that's of a neutral heart, not of one opposed.
Cunning.
And false.
Where hast thou sent the king?
Wherefore? To Dover.
Wherefore to Dover? Was that not charged at peril?
Wherefore to Dover? Let him first answer that.
I am tied to the stakes, and I must stand the course.
Wherefore to Dover, sir?
Because I would not watch thy cruel nails pluck out his poor old eyes, nor thy fierce sister stick boorish fangs into his anointed flesh. You sent him out into the dark night, with a bare head, in a storm so bad, that if wolves had at thy gate howled for shelter from it, thou would have said, "Good porter, turn the key and let them in," while your father wept and mixed his tears with rain. But I will see vengeance overtake you for being such disrespectful children.
See it, thou shalt never. Fellows, hold the chair. Upon these eyes of thine I'll set my foot.
Oh, give me some help! Oh, girl!
The other two.
If you see vengeance.
Your hand, my lord, I have served you ever since I was a child, but better service have I never done than to bid you stop.
How now, you dog?
Did you ever wear a beard upon your chin, all shaken on squirrel? What do you mean?
My villain.
Nay, but let us take the chance of anger.
Give me thy sword. A peasant stood up thus.
I am slain! My lord, you have one eye left to see him punished.
Lest prevent him from seeing any more. Out, vile jelly. Where is thy luster now?
Oh, my son Edmund, enkindle all the sparks of nature to avenge this horrid act.
Out, treacherous villain. Thou callest on him who hates thee. It was him that revealed to us the overture of thy treason, who was too good to pity thee.
Oh, my follies. Then Edgar was abused. Forgive me and prosper him.
Go thrust him out the gates, and let him smell his way to Dover. How is my boy? How look you?
I have received a hurt. Follow me, lady. Throw out that eyeless villain. Regan, I bleed apace. Untimely comes this hurt. Give me your arm.
I'll never care what this I do if our current master comes to good. If she live a long and happy life, women will all turn monsters. As for the old Earl, get the bedlam tongue to lead him where he would. His roguish manners allowed itself to anything. Go thou, I'll fetch some flax and whites of eggs to apply his bleeding face. Now heaven help him.
Edgar talks to himself on the heath, and he reflects upon the fact that his situation is not as bad as it could be. Then he is presented with the horrifying sight of his blinded father, who is being led by an old man, who has been attendant of Gloucester and Gloucester's father for 80 years. Edgar overhears Gloucester tell the old man that if he could touch his son Edgar again, it would be worth more to him than his eyesight. But Edgar chooses to remain disguised as the poor Tom, rather than to reveal himself to his father. Gloucester asks the old man to bring some clothes to cover Tom, and he asked Tom to lead him to Dover, specifically to the top of the highest cliff. Edgar agrees to help Gloucester.
I am better thus as a beggar, known to be contemned, than still to be contemned in secret and openly flattered. To be the worst, lowest, most dejected thing of fortune stands still and lives not in fear. The lamentable change is when good fortune turns worse. Welcome then, thou unsubstantial air that I embrace. The wretch that thou hast blown upon the worst has nothing to fear from the weather. But who comes here? My father, poorly led. Oh world, world, oh world! But that those strange mutations of age and death make us hate thee. Life would not yield to age.
Oh my good lord, I've been your tenant and your father's tenant these 80 years.
Away! Get thee away! Thy comforts can do me no good at all. Thee they may hurt.
Alack, sir, you cannot see your way.
I have nowhere to go, and therefore want no eyes. I did stumble when I saw. Oh, my son Edgar, if I could live to see thee in my grasp again. If I did, I would say I had eyes again.
How now? Who's there?
Who is it that can say I am at the worst? I am worse than e'er I've been.
'Tis poor mad Tom.
And worse I may be yet.
Was that the beggar?
The worst is not the worst, so long as we can rationally say, this is the worst.
Hello, where goest?
Was that the beggar man?
Madman and a beggar too.
He hath some reason, else he would not beg. In last night's storm I saw such a man. My son came then into my mind, but my mind was scarce then friends with him.
How should this be? Bad is the trade that I should continue to play the beggar when I wish to comfort my father. Bless thee, master.
Was that the naked fellow?
Aye, my lord.
Away, and bring some comfort for this poor soul, whom I'll entreat to lead me.
Alack, sir, he is mad.
'Tis at times where madmen lead the blind. Now go thee away, and get some covering, or else do thy pleasure. Above all else, get thee gone.
I'll bring the best pail that I have, come on't what will.
Sirrah, fellow.
Poor Tom's a cold. I can play this role no further.
Come hither, fellow.
And yet, I must. Bless thy sweet eyes, they bleed.
Dost thou know the way to Dover?
Both horseway and footpath. Tom has been scared out of his good wits by the foul fiend. 5 fiends have been in Tom at once. So bless thee, master.
Here is a purse. The man who has everything shall not see the evil around him, because he does not feel it. But he should feel it, so that he may distribute his wealth, so that every man will have enough. Dost thou know Dover?
Aye, master.
There is a cliff, whose high and bending head looks into the confined deep sea. Bring me but to the very brim of it. From that place I shall no leading need.
Give me thy arm. Poor Tom shall lead thee.
Goneril and Edmund arrive at her palace, and Goneril is surprised that Albany did not meet them on the way. Oswald tells her that Albany is displeased with Goneril and Regan's actions, and that he is unhappy to hear that she is home. Oswald also tells Goneril that Albany is happy that the French army has landed. When Goneril hears this, she realizes that Albany is no longer her ally. She criticizes his cowardice and resolves to exert greater control over her husband's military forces. She directs Edmund to prepare Cornwall's troops to fight the French, and she informs him that she will take over for her husband. As Edmund leaves, Albany enters. He harshly criticizes Goneril. He is outraged that Lear has been driven mad by Goneril and Regan's abuse, although he has not yet learned about Gloucester's blinding. Goneril angrily insults Albany. He retorts by calling her monstrous. A messenger arrives and delivers the news that Cornwall has died from the wound that he received while blinding Gloucester. Albany is horrified when he learns about the blinding. Goneril displays mixed feelings about Cornwall's death. On one hand, it makes her sister Regan less powerful. On the other hand, it leaves Regan free to pursue Edmund for herself. Goneril leaves to answer her sister's letters. Albany demands to know where Edmund was when his father was tortured. When he hears it was Edmund who betrayed Gloucester, and that it was Edmund who left the house specifically so that Cornwall could punish Gloucester, Albany vows to take revenge upon Edmund and help Gloucester.
Welcome, my lord. I marvel our mild-mannered husband not met us on the way. Now, where's your master?
Man within, but never a man so changed. I told him of the army that was landed. He smiled at it. I told him you were coming. He said the worst of Gloucester's treachery and of the loyal service of his son. When I informed him, he called me ignorant and told me I had turned the wrong side out. What most he should dislike seems pleasant to him. What like, offensive.
Then you shall go no further. This is the cowardice terror of a spirit that dares not undertake. He'll not feel wrongs, which tie him to an answer. Go back, Edmund, to my brother. Hasten his soldiers and conduct his troops. I must change arms at home and take control. This trusty servant shall pass messages between us. Take this as a token of my esteem. Spare your speech. Decline your head. This kiss, if it durst speak, would stretch thy spirits up into the air.
In your service until the ranks of death.
Oh, the difference between man and man, between Edmund and my foolish husband.
Madam, here comes my lord.
I have finally been worth the attention.
O Goneril, thou art not worth the dust which the rude wind blows in your face. I fear your disposition, that nature which abuses its origin, your own blood, your own father. She that herself will disbranch from her own bloodline will wither and come to deadly use.
No more. The text is foolish.
Wisdom and goodness to the vile seem vile. Filth savor with themselves. Tigers, not daughters, what have you done? A father and a gracious aged old man, whose reverence even the head-lugged bear would lick. Most barbarous, most degenerate, have you made insane? Could my good brother suffer you to do it? A man, a prince, by this same king so benefited, if that which the heavens do not send quickly down to tame these vile offenses, it will come.
You cowardice, milk-livered man, that just turns the other cheek for blows, who has not in his brow an eye discerning thine honor from thy suffering. Why aren't you preparing for war? Where is thy drum? France spreads his banners in our noiseless land. With plumed helm your slayer begins his threats, whilst thou, a moral fool, sittest still and cries, Alack, why does he so?
See thyself, devil! Proper deformity seems not in the fiend so horrid as in a woman.
O vain and useless fool!
Thou changed and self-covered monster, were't my fitness to let these hands destroy thy flesh and bones, for although thou art a fiend, a woman shaped doth shield thee.
Marry your manhood now.
What news? Oh my good lord, the Duke of Cornwall is dead, slain by his servant as he was going to put out the other eye of Gloucester.
Gloucester's eye?
A servant that he bred, opposed against the act, bended his sword towards Cornwall, who enraged flew on him, and killed the servant, but not before first receiving his own harmful stroke, which hath killed him too. This shows justice that our nether crimes so speedily can be revenged. But oh, poor Gloucester, lost he his other eye? Both, my lord. This letter, madam, craves a speedy answer. 'Tis from your sister.
One way I like this well. that Cornwall is dead. But now that Regan is a widow, might plot to pursue Edmund to escape my hateful life. May be in danger since Regan is free to wed again. But having Cornwall out of the way is still beneficial, so. This news is not so tart. I'll read and answer.
Where was his son Edmund when they did take his eyes?
On his way here with my lady hither.
He is not here.
No, my good lord, I met him going back again.
Knows he the wickedness?
Aye, my good lord, 'twas he who informed against Gloucester, and left the house on purpose, that their punishment might be carried out without concern for their father-son bond.
O Gloucester, I would live to thank thee for the love thou showest the king. Now will revenge thine eyes. Come hither, friend, tell me what more thou knowest.
Kent, who is still disguised as an ordinary serving man, speaks with a gentleman in the French camp near Dover. This gentleman tells Kent that the King of France has landed with his troop, who quickly departed to deal with the problem at home. Kent's letters have been brought to Cordelia, who is now the Queen of France and in charge of the French army. Kent questions the gentleman about Cordelia's reaction to the letters, and the gentleman gives a moving account of Cordelia's sorrow about reading about how her father has been treated. Kent tells this gentleman that Lear, who now wavered between sanity and madness, has also arrived safely in Dover. Lear refuses to see Cordelia because he is ashamed of the way he has treated her. The gentleman informs Kent that both Albany and Lake Cornwall's armies are on the march, presumably to fight the French.
Why has the King of France so suddenly gone back? Know you the reason?
Something he left imperfect in his state, which since his coming forth he thought of, which enforced to the kingdom so much fear and danger that his personal return was most required and necessary.
Who hath he left behind as general?
The Marshal of France, Monsieur Lafar.
Did your letters pierce the Queen to any demonstration of grief?
Aye, sir. She took them, read them in my presence. Now and then an ample tear trilled down her delicate cheek. It seemed her emotions overwhelmed her.
Oh, then it moved her.
Not to a rage. Her smiles and tears were like a better way. Those happy smiles that played on her ripe lips seemed not to know which guests were in her eyes, which parted thence, as pearls from diamonds dropped. In brief, sorrow would be a rarity most beloved, if all could so become it.
Made she no verbal question?
Faith, once or twice she used the name of Father, pantingly forth as if it pressed her heart. Art sisters, sisters, shame of ladies, sisters, Kent, father, sisters. What? In the storm? In the night? Let pity not be believed. There she shook the holy water from her heavenly eyes, and clamor moistened the way she started to deal with grief alone.
The stars above us govern our conditions. Else one as good as Cordelia cannot be related to her sisters. You spoke not with her since?
No.
Was this before the king returned?
No, afterward.
Well, sir, the poor distressed Lear's in town, who sometimes in his better state of mind remembers why we are come, but will by no means yield to see his daughter.
Why, good sir?
A sovereign shame so elbows him. His own unkindness that stripped her from his benediction, turned her to foreign casualties, gave her dear rights to his dog-hearted daughters. These things sting his mind so venomously the burning shame detains her from Cordelia.
Alack, poor gentleman.
Albany's and Cornwall's powers you heard not?
'Tis so, they are afloat.
Well, sir, I'll take you to our master Lear and leave you there to attend to him. Some dear cause to leave me in this disguise for a bit longer, but when my true identity is known aright, you shall be happy you gave me this acquaintance. I pray you go along with me.
Cordelia leads her soldiers. Lear hides from her in the cornfield, draping themselves in weeds and flowers, while singing madly to himself. Cordelia sends 100 of her soldiers to find him and bring him back. She then consults with the doctor and asks if Lear will regain his sanity. The doctor tells her that Lear needs sleep, and that there are medicines that can make him sleep. A messenger brings Cordelia the news that the British armies of Cornwall and Albany are marching towards him. Cordelia was expecting this news, and her army stand ready to fight.
Alack, to see who is missing. Why, he is met even now, as mad as the vexed sea. singing aloud, crowned with weeds and flowers. The centuries send forth, search every acre in the high-grown cornfield, and bring him to our eye. What can man's wisdom do in restoring this for you sense? He that helps him become sane again, take all my outward work.
There is means, madam. Our nurse of nature is rest, which he lacks, but there are many herbs with power to close the eyes famished.
Ah, you blessed secrets, ah, you unpublished virtues of the earth, that will spring with my tears. Remediate the good man's distress. Seek these herbs for him, lest his ungoverned rage dissolve his life.
News, madam. The British powers are marching hitherward.
'Tis known before. Our preparations stand in expectation of them. Oh, dear father, it is thy business that I go about this task. My mourning and important tears have pitied the King of France to invade England. For we are not fighting for ambition, but love, dear love, and our aged father's right to his kingdom. Soon may I hear and see him.
Although Albany has been dragging his feet about the expedition, Oswald tells Regan that Albany's army has set out and that it seems that Goneril is a better soldier than Albany. Regan is extremely curious about a letter that Oswald carries from Goneril to Edmund. Regan guesses that the letter concerns Goneril's newfound love for Edmund, and she tells Oswald that she wants Edmund for herself now that she is a widow. Regan also reveals that she has already spoken with Edmund about this possibility. Finally, she promises Oswald a reward if he can find Gloucester and kill him.
Will our brother's powers set forth?
Aye, madam.
Himself in person there?
Madam, with much ado, your sister is the better soldier.
Lord Edmund spake not with your lord at home?
No, madam.
What might import my sister's letters to him?
I know not, lady.
Faith, he is close to tense in serious matters. He was great ignorance Oswald's eyes being out to let him live. For wherever he arrives, he moves all hearts against us. Edmund is gone, I think, to put him out of his misery by killing him, and to discry the efforts of the enemy army.
Madam, I must needs have to move my letter.
Our troops set forth tomorrow. Stay the night. The ways are dangerous.
Madam, it may not. My lady charged my duty in the business of delivering the letter.
Why must your lady write to Lord Edmund? Could not her purposes be transported by word? You like something, I know not what. I love thee much. Let me unseal the letter.
Madam, I had rather...
Your lady does not love her husband. I am sure of this, under her late being here. She seems like the Lord Edmund. I know she trusts you and tells you everything.
I, madam?
I speak in understanding. You are close with her. I know it. Therefore, I do advise you, take note. My lord is dead. Edmund and I have talked, and it is more convenient for him to marry me than my sister. Therefore, I advise you, give him this. And when your lady does hear of it, I pray you call her wisdom about her. So fare thee well. And if you happen to chance upon the blind traitor, preferment falls on him who kills him.
Madam, would I could meet him, I should show what party I do follow.
Fare thee well.
Still in disguise, Edgar leads Gloucester toward Dover, and he pretends to take Gloucester to the edge of a cliff. He tells Gloucester that they are going up steep ground and that they can hear the sea. Finally, he tells Gloucester that they are at the top of the cliff and that looking down is giving him vertigo. He quietly nearby as Gloucester prays for forgiveness. Gloucester can no longer bear his suffering and intends to commit suicide. He falls to the ground, fainting. Edgar wakes Gloucester up. He no longer pretends to be poor Tom. He now acts like an ordinary gentleman, although he still doesn't tell Gloucester that he is his son. Edgar says that he saw him fall from all the way up from the top of the cliff, and that it is a miracle that he is still alive. Edgar also informs Gloucester that he saw the creature who he had been with at the top of the cliff, and that this creature was not human, but a devil. Gloucester resolves to endure his sufferings patiently. Meanwhile, Lear, who is wandering across the plain, stumbles upon Edgar and Gloucester. Crowned with wild flowers, he is clearly insane. He babbles on to Edgar and Gloucester, but his speech is both irrational and perceptive. Yet he recognizes Gloucester. Next, Cordelia's people enter, and they search for Lear. When they find Lear, they try to take him into custody to bring him to Cordelia. But Lear runs away, and Cordelia's men run after him. Next, Oswald comes across Edgar and Gloucester on the plain. He does not recognize Edgar, but plans to kill Gloucester to collect the reward from Regan. Edgar adopts another personality. He defends Gloucester and kills Oswald. As Oswald dies, he entrusts Edgar with his letters. Gloucester is disappointed that he has survived. Edgar reads the letter that Oswald was carrying to Edmund. In the letter, Goneril urges Edmund to kill Albany, so Edmund and Goneril can be together. Edgar is outraged. He decides to keep the letter to show it to Albany. Meanwhile, he buries Oswald nearby and leads Gloucester off to temporary safety.
When shall we come to the top of that same hill?
We're going up it now. Look how we labor.
Methinks the ground is even.
'Tis horrible steep. Hark, do you hear the sea?
No, truly.
Why then, your other senses grow imperfect by your eyes' anguish.
It may be so indeed. Methinks you speak in better manner and phrase than thou didst.
No, you're much deceived. In nothing am I changed.
Methinks you're better spoken.
Come on, sir. Here's the place. Stand still. How dizzy and fearful it is to cast one's eyes so low. The crows scarcely show. Halfway down the cliff clings one who gathers herbs. What a dreadful trade. He thinks he appears no bigger than his head. And the fishermen that walk upon the beach appear the same size as mice. And that yon tall ship appears the same size as a lifeboat. And the lifeboat almost too small for sight. And the murmuring surge of the waves that on the unnumbered idle pebbles chafes cannot be heard so high. I look no longer lest my brain should turn and the deficient sight topple down headlong.
Set me where you stand.
Give me thy arm. You are now within a foot of the extreme edge. For all beneath the moon would I not leap from here.
Here is another purse. In it a jewel well worth the poor man's taking. Prosper it with thee. Now, go thee farther off. Bid me farewell and let me hear you going.
Fare thee well, good sir.
With all my heart.
Why do I trifle thus with his despair? It is done to cure him.
Oh, this world I do renounce. Shake patiently my great afflictions off. If I could bear these torments and not quarrel with your will, I would wait to die naturally. If Edgar lived, oh, bless him. Now, fellow, farewell.
Go on, sir. Farewell. And yet I wonder if he has been robbed of the treasury of life. For he was so willing to die and thought that he was on the edge of a cliff. Can one's mind kill him? Alive? Or dead? Oh, you, sir! Friend! Hear you, sir? Speak! And yet I think he might pass indeed. Yet he revives! What are you, sir?
Away, away, and let me die!
Hadst thou been made of feathers or air, you should have been killed after falling so many fathoms down precipitating. And yet you do breathe. You bleedest not, your flesh is not wounded, your mind art sound. You speakest, and you just fell the height of 10 shipmasts down.
Hast thou-
Life's a miracle, speak yet again.
Hast I fallen or no?
From the dread summit of this chalky cliff. Look up a height. Look up so far as cannot be seen or heard. Do but look up.
I have no eyes. Wretchedness deprived me that benefit, to end itself by death.
Give me thy arm. Up. So how is it? Feel you your legs? You stand.
Too well. Too well.
This is beyond all strangeness. When you stood atop the cliff, what thing was that which parted from you?
A poor unfortunate beggar.
From where I stood below, methought his eyes were 2 full moons. He had 1,000 noses, and horns whelked and waved like the enriched sea. It was some fiend. So think thou, happy father, that the clearest gods have preserved thee.
I do understand. From henceforth I will bear my afflictions, so they do cry out, enough, enough, and die. That thing you spoke of, I took it for a man. It did often say, the fiend, the fiend. It led me to that place.
Bear free and patient thoughts. But who comes here? A sane man ne'er looked like this.
No, they cannot touch me for counterfeiting coins. I am the king himself.
Oh, thou heart-piercing sight.
Nature's above art in piercing sights. This fellow handles his crossbow like a crow keeper. Look, look, a mouse. Peace, peace. This piece of toasted cheese will do it. There's my gauntlet. I'll fight even a giant.
Sweet marjoram.
I know that voice.
Ha! Guttural with a white beard. Ha! Regan! They flattered me like a dog and told me I had white hairs on my head ere the black ones were there. To say I and no. Everything that I said. I and no. When the rain did wet me once, and the wind to make me chatter, and the thunder would not peace at my bidding, there I found them, there I smelt them out. Go to. They are not men of their words. They told me I was their everything. 'Tis a lie.
The trick of that voice I do know well. Is it not the king?
Aye, every inch a king. When I do stare, see how the servant quakes. Gloucester's other son was kinder to his father than thy daughters.
Oh, let me kiss thy hand.
Let me wipe it first. It smells of mortality.
Oh, ruined piece of nature. This great world will be worn away to naught. Dost thou know me?
I remember thine eyes well enough. Read thou this letter. Mark but the penning of it.
Were all the letters sons, I could not read one.
Had I not seen this for myself, I would not believe it from report. And my heart breaks at it.
Read.
What in the case of eyes?
Oh ho, no eyes. Yet you see how this world goes.
I see it feelingly.
What, art mad? A man may see how this world goes with no eyes. Get thee glass eyes, and, like a scurvy politician, seem to see the things thou dost not. Now.
Oh, matter and absurdity mixed. Reason and madness.
If thou wilt weep my fortunes, take mine eyes. I know thee well enough. Thy name is Gloucester. When we are born, we cry that we are come to this great stage of fools. And when I have stolen upon these sons-in-laws, then kill.
Oh, here he is! Lay hand upon him. Sir, your most dear daughter.
No rescue? What? A prisoner? Ha! I am even the natural fool of fortune. Use me well, and you shall have ransom. Let me have surgeons. I am injured in my mind.
You shall have anything.
No seconds, none to back me up, all myself? Why, this would make man use his eyes for garden water pots.
Good sir.
I will die bravely, like a bridegroom. What? I will be jovial. Come, come, I'm a king, my masters. Did you know that?
You are a royal one, and we obey you.
Then there's life in it. Nay, if you can catch me, you shall get it with running. Sa, 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 sa.
A sight most pitiful, even in the meanest wretch, and much worse in a king. Thou hast one daughter, and redeems the other two.
Hail, gentle sir.
Sir, speed you. What's your will?
Do you hear aught of a battle toward?
Though sure and vulgar, everyone hears that, which can distinguish sound.
But by your favor, how near's the other army?
Near and speedy on foot, the main descry stands on the hour.
I thank you, sir. That's all.
Though the queen is here on special cause, her army is moved on.
I thank you, sir.
Oh, you ever gentle gods, take my breath from me and let me die, and let not my worser spirit tempt me to die before you please.
Very well, father.
What are you?
A most poor man, made tame to fortune's blows, who, by the art of knowing and feeling sorrows, has compassion for others. With thy hand, I will lead thee to some shelter.
A hearty thanks. The bounty of heaven bless you.
A proclaimed prize! Most happy that Isla's head of thine was first framed flesh to raise my fortunes. That old and happy traitor, briefly I self remember. The sword is out that must destroy thee. Thy friendly hand put strength enough to it. Wherefore, bold peasant, there is how the port of published traitor, hence. Lest the infection of his fortune take lead, how long thee let go his arm!
I'll not let go, sir, without good reason.
Let go or thou diest!
Good sir, go your gait, keep out, come not near the old man.
Out!
I'll knock your teeth out, no need for swords.
Thou hast slain me, villain! Take my purse, if ever that will thrive, bearing my body, and take the letters thou findest about me to Edmund, Earl of Gloucester. Seek him out upon the British party. Oh, untimely death.
I know thee well, a serviceable villain. His duty is to the vices of thy mistress, who would do any evil act she desired.
What, is he dead?
Sit, father. Rest you. Let's see these pockets.
The letters that he speaks of may help.
He's dead. I'm only sorry I had to do it. Leave, gentle wax. Blame us not.
Let our vows be remembered. You have many opportunities to kill Albany. If he returned the conqueror, then am I the prisoner. Help me escape him, and you can take his place. Your wife, so I would say, affectionate servant, Goneril. Oh, undistinguished space of woman's will. A vicious plot against her virtuous husband's life, and in exchange for my brother. Here, I'll rake up thy body and bury you in a shallow grave, having passed on this message. And this ungracious paper give to the Duke whose life is at risk. For him 'tis well that of thy death and business I can tell.
Oh, the king is mad. How vile it is that I am sane enough to know. Better I were distracted, so that my thoughts be separate from my grief.
Give me thy hand. Far off methinks I hear the beaten drum.
Come, father, and bestow you with a friend.
In French camp, Cordelia speaks to Kenneth. She knows his real identity, but he wishes to keep it hidden from everyone else. Lear, who has been sleeping, is brought to see Cordelia. He particularly recognizes her. He states that he knows that he is senile and not in his right mind, and he assumes that Cordelia hates him and wants him killed, just like her sisters, but Cordelia tells him that she forgives him for banishing her. Meanwhile, news of Cornwall's death is repeated in the camp, and the fact that Edmund is leading Cornwall's troops. The battle between France and England rapidly approaches.
Oh, thou good Kent, how shall I live and work to match thy goodness? My life will be too short, and every measure fail me.
To be acknowledged, madam, is ever paid. All my reports go with the modest truth, no more nor clipped.
Be better suited. These rags are memories of those worser hours when you had to wear this disguise. I prithee, put them off.
Pardon me, dear madam, yet to be revealed shortens my intent. I took you know me not till the time is right.
Then be it so, my good lord. How does the king?
Madam, sleep still.
Oh, cure this great breach in his abused nature. The untuned and jarring senses, restore the sanity of this father made mad by daughters, of this child changed father.
So please your majesty, that we may wake the king, he hath slept long.
Be governed by your knowledge, and proceed in this way of your own will. Is he royally arrayed?
Aye, madam. In the heaviness of his sleep, we put fresh garments on him.
Be by, good madam. When we do awake him, I doubt not of his temperance.
Very well.
Please you, draw near, louder than the music there.
Oh, my dear father, restoration hang thy medicine. Let this kiss repair those violent harms that my two sisters have in thy reverence made. Had you not been their father, these white hairs would have challenged pity of them. Was this a face to be opposed against the warring winds? To stand against the deep, dreadful as thunder? And the most terrible and nimble stroke of quick cross lightning? Mine enemy's dog, though he had bit me, should have stood that night against my fire. And poor father, to hovel with swine and rogues forlorn, in short and musty straw? Alack, alack, 'tis wonder that thy life and wits at once had not concluded all. He wakes. Speak to him.
Madam, do you 'tis fittest?
How does my royal lord? How fares your majesty?
You do me wrong to take me out of the grave.
Sir, do you know me?
You are a spirit, I know. When did you die?
Still far wide.
He's scarce awake. Let him alone a while.
Where have I been? Where am I? I am mightily abused. Methinks I should even die with pity. To see one in this state, I know not what to say. I will not swear that these are my hands. Let's see, that were assured of my condition.
Oh, look upon me, sir, and hold your hands in benediction over me. No, sir, you must not kneel.
Pray, do not mock me. I am a very foolish, fond old man. And to deal plainly, I fear I am not in my perfect mind. Methinks I should know you, and know this man. Yet I am doubtful, for I am mainly ignorant what place this is. And all the skill I have remembers not these garments, nor I know not where I did lodge last night. Do not laugh at me, for as I am a man, I think this lady to be my child Cordelia.
And so I am.
Are your tears wet? Yes, in faith, pray you weep not. If you have poison for me, I will drink it. I know you do not love me, for your sisters have, as I do remember, done me wrong. They have some cause, you have not.
No cause.
Am I in France? Do not abuse me.
Be comforted, good madam. The great rage of madness is over. Yet do not make him think of the time he has lost. Desire him to go in, trouble him no more, till further settling.
Will it please your highness walk?
You must bear with me. Pray you now, forget and forgive. I am old and foolish.
Holds it true, sir, that the Duke of Cornwall was so slain?
Most certain, sir.
Who is conductor of his people?
'Tis said the other son of Gloucester, Edmund.
They say Edgar, his banished son, is with the Earl of Kent in Germany. Report is changeable. 'Tis time to look about. The powers of the king approach apace. The fight is like to be bloody. Fare you well, sir. My life and plans, whether well or ill, spend in this day's battles.
In the British camp near Dover, Regan asks Edmund if he loves Goneril. Edmund states that he does not. Regan reveals that she is jealous of her and beseeches Edmund to stay away from her sister. Goneril and Albany enter with the troops. Albany declares that he intends to fight. Meanwhile, Goneril and Regan jealously fight over Edmund. Just as Albany is about to leave, Edgar, who is now disguised as an ordinary peasant, approaches him and gives him the letter he took from Oswald. The letter, which details Goneril's involvement with Edmund, as well as Goneril's plot to have Albany killed. Edmund addresses the audience, stating that he has sworn his love to both sisters, Regan and Goneril.
Know of the Duke Albany if his last purpose hold or to change the course.
Our sister's man Oswald is certainly in trouble.
'Tis to be doubted, madam.
Sweet Lord, you know I intend only goodness upon you. Therefore, tell me truly, but then speak the truth. Do you love my sister?
No, by mine honor, madam.
I shall never endure her, therefore be not familiar with her.
Fear me not. She and the Duke, her husband, are arrived.
I had rather lose the battle than that my sister Regan should come between Edmund and me.
Our very loving sister well be met. Sir, this I hear, the king has come with his daughters and others to cry out against the rigor of our state. I never fought for a cause I did not believe in, but France invades our land, and I am concerned because of that, not because some support the king. For those grievances against us may well be legitimate.
Sir, you speak nobly.
Why are we talking about this?
Combined together against the enemy, these domestic and particular broils are not the question here.
Then let's determine with the senior command of war our proceedings.
I shall attend you presently at your tent.
Sister, you'll go with us?
No.
'Tis most convenient. I pray you, go with us.
Oh, I know her tricks. I will go. If e'er your grace had speech with man so poor, hear me but one word.
I'll overtake thee. Speak.
Before you fight the battle, ope this letter. If you have victory, let the trumpet sound for he who brought it. Wretched though I may seem, I will bravely stand and defend my claims. If you miscarry though and die in battle, your business of this world hath so an end, and all plans cease. Good fortune to you.
Stay till I have read the letter.
I was forbid to. But when the time shall serve, let the herald trumpet cry, and I shall come again.
Why, fare thee well, and I will overlook thy paper.
The enemy's in view. Draw up your powers and prepare your troops. Here is the estimate of their true strength and forces. Your haste is now urged on.
We will be ready.
To both of these sisters have I sworn my love, each jealous of the other. Which of them shall I take? Both? One? Or neither? Neither can be enjoyed if both remain alive. To take the widow exasperates and makes mad her sister Goneril. But Goneril's husband Albany is still alive. We will use Albany for the battle, which being done, let her who would be rid of him devise his speedy death. And as for the mercy which Albany intends to show Lear and Cordelia, the battle done and they within our power shall never see his pardon or mercy.
The battle begins, and Edgar, in peasant clothing, leads Gloucester to the shelter of a tree and goes into battle to fight on Lear's side. He soon returns, screaming that Lear's side is lost and that Lear and Cordelia have been captured.
Gloucester states that he will stay where he is and wait to be killed or captured, but Edgar says that one's death occurs at predestined time. Persuaded by this reasoning, Gloucester follows Edgar.
Here, Father, take the shadow of this tree as thy good host. Pray that the right side will thrive, and if I come again to you, I will bring thee comfort.
Grace go with you, sir.
Away! Give me thy hand away! King Lear hath lost, he and his daughter ta'en, come on!
No farther off, a man may rot even here.
What? In ill thoughts again? Men must endure their going hence, even as their coming hither. Ripeness is all. Come on.
That's true, too.
Edmund enters with his prisoners Lear and Cordelia. Regan breaks in to declare she has plans to marry Edmund. An upset Goneril tells Regan that Edmund will not marry her, while Regan, who is unexpectedly beginning to feel sick, claims Edmund as her lord and husband. Albany arrests Edmund on a charge of treason, and he challenges Edmund to defeat him with the charge of trial by combat. Edgar defeats Edmund. A gentleman then rushes in carrying a bloody knife. He announces that Goneril has committed suicide and that she fatally poisoned Regan before she died. Next, Kent enters and asks where Lear is, and Albany recalls with horror that Lear and Cordelia are still imprisoned and demands to know their whereabouts. Edmund repents. He tells the others that he had ordered Cordelia to be hanged, and he sends a messenger to try and intervene. Lear enters with the dead body of Cordelia. The messenger arrived too late. Slipping in and out of sanity, Lear grieves. Kent tries to speak to Lear, but Lear barely recognizes him. Another messenger enters and reveals that Edmund has also died. Lear asks Edgar to loosen Cordelia's button, and just as Lear thinks that he sees her beginning to breathe again, he too dies. Albany gives Edgar and Kent their power and titles back. He invites them to rule with him. Kent, feeling himself near death, refuses, but Edgar accepts. The few remaining survivors exit sadly as the funeral march plays.
Some officers take them away until we decide how to punish them.
We are not the first, who with best meaning have incurred the worst. For thee, oppressed king, I am cast down, not for myself. Shall we not see these daughters and these sisters?
No, no, no. Come, let us away to prison. We two alone will sing like birds in the cage. When thou dost ask me blessing, I'll kneel down and ask of thee forgiveness. So we'll live, and sing, and pray, and tell old jokes, and laugh in a walled prison, where packs and sects of rulers come and go.
Take them away.
My Cordelia, upon such sacrifices you have done so much for me. Wipe thine eyes. Come.
Come hither, Captain. Hark. Take thou this note. Go follow them to prison. If thou dost as this instructs thee, thou dost make thy way to noble fortunes. To be tender-minded does not become a sword. Either say thou'lt be tough and do it, or thrive by other means.
I'll do it, my lord.
Go about it, and you will be happy when thou hast done. Mark, I say, instantly, and carry it so exactly as I have set it down.
If it'll be man's work, I'll do it.
Sir, you have shown today valiant courage, and fortune led you well. You have the captives that were the opposites of this day's strife. We do require them of you, out of concern for their honor and the safety of the kingdom.
Sir, I thought it fit to send the old and miserable king to a guarded prison. His age and title make him popular among the commoners, and I feared the soldiers would turn on us on his behalf. With him I sent the queen, my reason all the same, and they are ready tomorrow or at further notice to appear where you shall hold your session.
Sir, by your patience, I hold you as a subordinate and not an equal in this war.
That's for me to decide. Methinks our opinion would have been demanded before he spoke so rudely, for he led our powers well, and bore his commission, and due to his connection with me, affords him the right to be considered your equal.
Not so hot. By his own grace he doth exalt himself, more than in your edition.
In my rights, invested in me as military leader, he compares the best.
If he should husband you,
jesters do oft prove prophets.
That eye that told you so looked but a squint.
Lady, I am not well, lest I should answer from a full flowing stomach. General, take thou my soldiers, prisoners, patrimony, and dispose of them or of me as you wish. Witness the world as I claim thee here, my lord and master.
Mean you to marry him?
That alone lies not in your goodwill, Goneril, for it is not up to you.
Nor in thine, lord.
Yes, it is.
For the drums strike and prove my title thine.
Stay yet, hear reason, Edmund. I arrest thee on capital treason, along with this gilded serpent. For your claim, fair sister, I bar in the interest of my wife. 'Tis she subcontracted to this lord, and I, her husband, contradict your ban.
An interlude.
Thou art armed. Gloucester, let the trumpets sound. If none appear to challenge and prove thy heinous manifest and many treasons, there is my pledge. I'll prove it on my heart. Thou art nothing less than I have here proclaimed thee.
Oh, I am sick. Oh, sick.
If she's not, I'll never trust medicine.
There's my exchange. What in the world he is that names me a traitor? Villain-like, he lies. Call by thy trumpet. He that dares approach, on him, on you, who not? I will maintain my truth and honor firmly.
A herald, ho!
A herald, ho! A herald!
My soldiers, all levied in my name, having my name took their discharge.
My sickness rose upon me.
She is not well. Convey her to my tent. Come hither, herald. Let the trumpet sound and read out this.
Sound trumpet, sound trumpet.
If any man of quality or degree within the lists of the army will maintain upon Edmund, supposed Earl of Gloucester, that he is a manifold traitor, let him appear by the third sound of the trumpet. He is bold in his defense.
Sound.
Again. Again.
Ask him his purposes, why he appears so on the call of a trumpet.
What are you? Your name, your quality, and why you answer this present summons?
My name and title is lost by treason, yet I am as noble as the adversary.
Which is that adversary?
Who is he who speaks for Edmund, Earl of Gloucester?
Himself, what sayest thou to him?
Draw thy sword. If my speech offend thee, then my sword will do thee justice. Here is mine. Despite thy victor's sword and thy new fortune, thou art a traitor, false to thy father and thy brother, conspirant against the high illustrious prince. From the extremest upward of thy head to the descent and dust below thy foot, a toad-spotted traitor. If you say no, it is not true, I will use this sword, this arm, to prove that thou liest.
In wisdom, I should ask of thy name. But since thy outside looks so fair and warlike, and that thy tongue, some say, a breeding breathes, and although by rule of knighthood I should not fight one I do not know, I will, and back do I toss these accusations of treason. This sword of mine shall give them instant way, where they shall rest forever. Trumpets, speak!
Save him! Save him! You have been deceived. By the law of arms, thou wast not bound to answer an unknown opponent. You did not lose, but tricked and beguiled.
Shut thy mouth, dame, or with this paper shall I stop it. Hold, sir, thou worse than a name, you criminal, read thine own evil. No tearing, lady, I perceive you know what this letter says.
Say, if I do,
The laws are mine to make, not thine. Who then can arraign me for it?
Most monster so, knowest thou this paper?
Ask me not what I know.
She's desperate, govern her.
What you have charged me with, that have I done, and much, much more. The time will bring it up. 'Tis past, and so am I. But what art thou? Thou hast defeated me? If thou art noble, I do forgive thee.
Let us exchange some charity. My name is Edgar. I am thy father's son. I am no less in blood than thou art, Edmund.
Thou hast spoken right. 'Tis true.
Methought thy very gait did prophesy a royal nobleness. I must embrace thee. Let sorrow split my heart if ever I did hate thee or thy father.
Worthy prince, I know it.
Where have you hid yourself? How have you known the miseries of your father?
By nursing them, my lord. List a brief tale, and when 'tis told, oh, that my heart would break. Into a man's rags to assume a semblance. In this habit met I my father with his bleeding eyes and became his guide. I led him, begged for him, saved him from despair. Never, oh fault, revealed myself to him until this half hour passed when I was armed. Not knowing, though hoping of this good success, I asked his blessing, and from first to last, I told him everything. But his flawed heart, twixt two extremes of passion, joy and grief, burst smilingly, and he died.
This speech of yours hath moved me, and shall perchance be good. But speak you on. You look as though you had something more to say.
If there be more woeful, hold it in, for I am almost ready to dissolve hearing of this.
While I was sobbing, there came a man who, having seen me in my worst estate, shunned my abhorrent society. Finding out who I truly was, however, with his strong arms he fastened around my neck and bellowed out. Then he threw himself on my father, and told the most piteous tale of Lear and him that ear ever did receive.
But who is this?
Kent, sir, the banished Kent, who in a disguise followed his enemy king and did him service.
Help! Help! Oh, help!
What kind of help?
Speak, man!
What means that bloody knife?
'Tis still warm from the cut. It came from the heart of... Oh, she's dead. Who dead? Speak, man! Your lady, sir, your lady. And her sister by yours poisoned. She hath confessed it. These deaths touch us not with pity. Oh, is this Kent? The time will not allow the compliment which various manners urge.
I'm come to bid my king and master aye goodbye. Is he not here?
Speak, Edmund. Where's the king? And where's Cordelia? Seest thou this object, Kent?
Alack, why thus?
The one the other poisoned for my sake, and after slew herself.
Cover their faces.
I pant for life. Some good I mean to do before I die, and against mine own nature. Quickly send to the prison, for my writ is to have Lear and Aunt Cordelia killed.
Run, oh run! To who? Who hath the order? Give me that token of reprieve to show you are stopping this act.
Take my sword, give it to the captain.
Haste thee for thy life.
He hath commission from thy wife to hang Cordelia in the prison, and to lay the blame upon her own despair, that she boarded herself.
The gods defend her. Bear him hence a while.
No, no! She is gone forever. I know when one is dead, and when one lives, she's dead as earth.
Is this the promised end?
The image of that horror.
Fall and cease.
This feather stirs, she lives. If it be so, it is a chance that does redeem all sorrow that ever I have felt.
Oh, my good master.
Be away!
'Tis noble Kent, your friend.
A plague upon you, murderers, traitors all! I might have saved her. Now she's gone forever. Cordelia, stay a little. What is it thou sayest? Her voice was always soft, gentle, low, an excellent thing in women. I killed the one that was a-hanging thee.
'Tis true, my lords, he did.
Did I not, fellow? In the past I would have, but I am old now, and these same crosses spoiled me. Who are you? My eyes are not of the best, I'll tell you straight.
The same. Your servant Ken. Where's your servant Caius?
He's a good fellow, I can tell you that. He'll strike, and quickly too. He's dead and rotten.
No, my good lord. I am the very man.
I'll see that straight.
From your first of difference and decay, I followed your sad steps.
You are welcome hither.
Nor no man else cheerless, dark, and deadly. Your eldest daughters have fordone themselves, and desperately are dead.
Aye, so I think.
He knows not what he says, and vain it is that we present us to him.
Yes, it is pointless.
Edmund is dead, my lord.
That's but a trifle here. You lords and noble friends know our intent, that what comfort to this great decay may come shall be applied, and for us we resign all our power to this old majesty Lear, and give him absolute power for the rest of his life. You will get your rightful property and titles back, with such addition as your honors have more than merited.
And my poor fool is hanged. No, no, no life. Why should a dog, a horse, a rat have life, and thou no breath at all? Thou'lt come no more. Never, 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 never. Do you see this? Look on her. Look, her lips. Look there. Look there.
His face! My lord! My lord! Break my heart and for thee brave that, my lord! Vex not his ghost. Oh, let him pass. He hates him much that would upon the rack of this tough world stretch him out longer.
He is gone, indeed.
The wonder is he hath endured so long.
Bear them from hence. Our present business is general woe and mourning. Friends in my soul, you twain will rule and sustain this wounded country.
I have a journey to my own death. Shortly I must go. My master calls me. I must not say no.
Wait. Of this sad time, we must obey. Say what we feel, not what we ought to say. The oldest one hath borne the most. We that are young shall never see as much, nor live so long.